Hey guys! Hello! Hello! Whoa, 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 whoa! Hi Argo! Hi Laura! Hi Anime Freak! Welcome back! Hi Catherine! Hello! My face is so big. Sheesh. Anyway, I don't know what I'm saying. Hi guys! I feel like the volume might be kind of loud. Hi guys! It's been so long, actually. It's been so long since I've seen so many of you guys, and I'm actually like, I missed you guys so much. It's been so long since I last talked about like YashaHime and stuff. I hope the audio is good. Yeah, it's been a minute. It's been like 2 minutes. It's been like 3 minutes. I don't know, man. Yeah. So a little update on life. I'm filming my I was supposed to film my last 2 Spy Family reactions today. But I'm tired today, so maybe tomorrow. But yeah, I hope you guys have been well. Audio's good. Okay, thanks Jay. Best about Jay. If you guys should check out TJ on Twitch and on YouTube. He is my friend. He's streaming. Hi Joanna. So today super exciting because we're gonna be talking about the YashaHime manga, and I'm so excited. My original plan was actually to kind of like read this live so you guys can catch my full reaction and stuff like that, but I realized it would take really long and a lot of the stream would just be me sitting there quietly because personally I would just like enjoy it to like I personally would enjoy, you know, reading it like quietly while I can like squeal quietly like you know, like in middle school, you know, when you're like fangirling over a manga like at like 3 in the morning. Like that was like, I don't know, it was really fun reading it, like binge reading it last night. That's why I'm so tired because like I couldn't stop. Basically I couldn't stop reading it, and yeah. Anyways, I didn't really plan how I'm going to do this exactly, but I guess there's a lot of oh my goodness, this is stuck in here. Anyways, I guess my main thing is to say that I could see the structure of the anime is definitely in this manga, like a lot of like the big points, but it's written pretty different. There's a lot of like different aspects that we explore characters a lot better in this in the manga, in my opinion. And yeah, so I guess we could get started. I'm gonna have a special guest. Yes, I will call. I have a special guest today. We have Berna, my sister, the OG girl that was here since the beginning. She would answer. Hello?
Hello.
Hello. So Berna's here. She did not read the manga, so it is my job to summarize it to her and kind of point out things, if that makes sense. I am half awake. It's really bad. It's like actually really bad. I have coffee, I have cold water. But you know. We're chilling.
Yeah,
so
actually, I need to grab water real quick.
okay, just go
I'm gonna run.
grab water. Okay, while she's grabbing water, she was talking to me. Sorry for her delay. No, it's okay. It's okay, Jay. It's okay, Jay. I like to kind of start off on my own a little bit so I can get used to it. You know. But yeah. So basically, also Wolfboy interest for her when that would be so cute. Koga's son when. I would love if our internet would not F today. That would be so helpful. While we're waiting for Berna to get water, the other day I saw Joe Hisaishi live in concert and it was super cool actually. He is the composer for Studio Ghibli and it was such a cool experience. It was actually such a cool experience. We saw like Princess Mononoke live. And everything. It was so cool. But yeah, I hope you guys can hear. Let me know if you can hear Berna correctly or whatever. Correctly, loudly. Oh hi. Yes, we did see her, but you know, I feel like everything in the anime was more centered around the twins. Yeah, I think the manga does a really good job of having balance between the twins and Moroha, if that makes sense. That's what I think. Even though it's kind of centered around Towa more right now because obviously she was the one that was separated. What's your opinion on the Riku Towa pairing? Honestly, I wasn't a big fan of it during the anime. It felt really forced, but hopefully they can, like, if they explore that ship or that pair in the manga, hopefully they can like develop them better or whatever. But I did see the chemistry towards the end of the season of the series, so I thought they were cool. Yeah. Anyways, so Ate, what are your predictions before we start our little summary, if that makes sense? This is mostly improv, by the way. This is like mostly improv.
Basically what we didn't get from the anime.
Oh my god, I'm sorry if she was so loud. Everything we didn't get? Like what?
Just like them being together. Not separated.
Them being together?
Mm-hmm.
Well, too bad.
Wait, really?
Too bad. No, because obviously the manga is adaptation, like Shina's version of the story. So Shiina is taking basically the structures of the original of the manga and kind of twisting it a little bit, like to do like a different story a little bit. But it's like basically it's very similar but very different, if that makes sense. Does the manga have more depth and character building? Yes, it does. It had like Kaede, Sota, like it's already deep, okay, you know. Before I start, I just wanted to say if you guys want to check out the manga, because this stream is going to be very like spoilers, if that makes sense, very spoilers, you should purchase the manga viz. I will pin a link in the chat. Oh my god, my voice is correct. I will pin a comment in the chat of where you can get it. This is the Viz website, so depending on your location, you know, you can get it on Amazon. I got it from Amazon, but you can get it like your local Barnes and Noble, or if you're in Canada, what's it called? Indigo chapters. Yeah. So there's a lot of places you can get it, so I highly recommend to support the mangaka and everything. Is the manga online? Probably. You know. But you can get if you want to get like a online version, you can purchase it, and it's like a lot cheaper than the physical one. You know. So yeah. Thank you, Jay, best mod. So yeah. So I guess we can get started. Yeah. I'm excited. I'm so excited. Like,
that
you don't
sounds
even.
so evil though.
I know, but like, you don't even know like how excited I was to just like talk about it, because like I was reading it last night and it was like I was like squealing, I was crying on the verge of tears, you know, screaming. So yeah, so this is the manga. And if you guys can't make the stream, I'll probably do like a curated version of the stream, like a an edited version, if that makes sense. Not the cackle, I'm screaming. But it's just fun to do it live so I can get like you guys' input and stuff like that. If you guys want, I don't know, chat will be there. But yeah. Okay, we're over here back. Ha ha ha. So basically when you open, I really like the manga too, because when you open it up, there's like really nice printed like really pretty printed color what English really pretty colored versions of the illustrations that Shiina put out throughout YashaHime and stuff like that, or like I don't know how to freaking explain it, man. Anyways, it's really pretty. I really love the art as well. Hi YouTube, hi Tuli, welcome. Okay. So basically, we start the story, and basically the story starts off with Towa in her world. I think in the original, in the anime, we basically start off like mid-series for some reason, like not mid, like maybe like 10 episodes in to the first season, where, you know, they're fighting the freaking owl boy and like Towa got kidnapped or something. With this one, we start like from the, not like the beginning of their story, but Towa basically in the modern era. So Towa chilling in the modern era, she's like, yo, what the heck, man, I'm in school. I don't know how I'm gonna explain this. This is gonna be so scuffed. Atu,
Yes.
are you following?
Yes.
Okay, I have extra notes as well that I wrote down.
But
while I was
also,
reading.
this is a suggestion. Maybe
Yeah.
you can put spoilers on the title, just in case.
Spoilers. Okay, one second. Anyway, guys, this is gonna be really scuffed because I did not plan this right, but it's okay. Sometimes in life you just gotta go for it. Right. Spoilers. It's nice to hear your voice. I hope you're doing well and great work. Thank you. It's been a while since I've seen you here. Make her volume just a tad higher. Okay. Thanks, Elusive.
I will be closer
Eat the mic.
to the mic as well if that helps.
Eat the
Nom,
mic
nom,
and
nom,
like.
nom, 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 nom.
Ew, this is gross. Yo, it's actually so hot. It's actually so
It is
hot.
so hot.
I'm actually melting. It's like so hot. Okay.
Hi, Elusive.
Ew. I'm joking. Sorry, I'm so mean to my mods. Okay. So I really hope I can do a good job today, because I really don't know.
Okay. No pressure.
This
I
is
mean, it's the first time we're doing a format like this.
Yeah, I'm just trying new things these days, you know. Okay, so basically, I can't think with music on. It's actually bad. Okay, so basically we start off following Towa's story. She's chilling in the modern era. She's like a new student at school. She like moved there basically she's at her new school for 2 months. As you know, in the anime, she was there, like that was her like first day, I think, in the anime. At St. Gabriel's. It's an all-girl school as well. In the manga, you see she's wearing the. I'm gonna just show a little bit of the panels, okay? In the manga, she's actually wearing like the actual uniform, like the girl's uniform, you know. In the anime, I was always like super confused because she was wearing like her old school uniform at her new school, which, like, you know, we all know, like, if you're gonna go to a new school, they're not gonna allow you to wear your old school uniform. So I know it's not a big deal, but it's just really confusing to me. So I like how Shiina kind of just like,
Oh, she looks so cute.
yeah, I like how Shiina just kind of like fixed that, basically, if that makes sense. So she's like new in the school. Obviously, Towa stands out so much because you know, she has white hair, she has like red eyes and everything. And all these girls are actually like fangirling over Towa. Like they're fangirling. They're like fangirls of Towa. They're like, "Oh my god, like she's so hot, like she's so cool." You know? And as she walks down school, like she can hear people like whispering about her, like not really gossiping, but like kind of saying like, "Oh, like well, yeah, gossiping actually." Saying, "Oh, I heard she transferred from Shoyo Junior High School. Uh like why did she switch schools, you know? Like which isn't like because her last school wasn't that far away from her current school, so it's just like why did you move? Like what reason? Like, right?" Um and like they're saying like, "Oh, she like skips gym class." And stuff like that. And they're saying like, "Oh, she wasn't at her old school for very long." And then this is a point that I really like was interested in, but someone says her aunt got married and moved to the middle of nowhere, which I think kind of you know, they're obviously talking about Kagome, right? Kagome got married and she just like left, you know?
Yeah.
And like she was like never to be seen again. I think it obviously references the last episode where whenever like Sota's like friends would be like, "Oh, like where's your sister? Like I heard she's hot," you know? And then Sota's like,
gosh.
you know, like she got married and like right after graduating she got married and yeah, that's it. And he just like moves on, you know? So it's kind of referencing that. I thought that was really interesting. So yeah, Toa is like pretty popular. People are like, "Oh, like we're going to karaoke, you want to come?" But I think you know when people have like a resting bitch face and you're kind of like, you know, so Toa kind of has that. She kind of has like a little glare to her. She doesn't mean to be like scary. She doesn't mean to be like to look mad. But she kind of like gave off that vibe, and like people got scared. Like they're like, "Oh, a few of us are going out for karaoke, want to come?" And then she glares over here. She glares, and she's like, "Karaoke?" And she's like, "I'd love to, but no." And then she's like, I really like to join, but sorry, I already have plans." Like I think she has to go home after school. And like the girls, like obviously, you know, her resting bitch face, she got scared. They got scared and like they ran away. She's like, "Bruh, like I didn't mean to, you know." They're like, "We didn't mean to bother you, Towa, like please forgive us," blah blah. And yeah, so I think it's interesting. Obviously we already see a contrast with the anime versus the manga. Because in the anime, she was like the new student. Literally in the anime, no one cared about her at her new school. I think people did look at her, but like it was never really a big thing at all either. But I think her only issue was like those bullies, and we'll get to that in a second, like the whole bully thing. So Toa explains why she moved from her last school, and basically she moves because the principal was like, "Oh, you have to dye her hair black and like make her wear glasses and stuff like that, right?" And then Sota's like,
glasses?
Yeah, because her eyes are like red. They're
Different
like
color?
Yeah, they're different color. They're like distracting.
I'm not gonna hide her eye color.
Yeah. Wait, let me lower your volume a tad because it's so loud for me.
Oopsies.
It's okay.
It kind of reminds me of the whole thing with
Fruits
that
Basket?
guy from Fruits Basket.
Ayame? Ayame? Yeah.
That whole scene.
Ayame, right?
No.
Is that his name?
No.
Or Haru? Haru, and then he's like, yeah. In Fruits Basket, the vice pres was like, is that even your real hair color? And then Haru was just like, yes, it is. And then he was like, prove it. And he was like, okay, let's go to the washroom. Anyways, I thought it was so freaking funny. But basically, she moved from her last school because she was, the principal or whatever asked, Sota, her adopted father, to dye her hair and make sure she wears glasses. And then obviously Sota is a very, like, I don't know, like, if he was this, like, protective in the anime, but in the manga, he's, like, very protective, like, very, very, very protective father.
Aww.
So, yeah, so he's, like, so they're, like, telling her to, like, dye her hair black, and he's, like, that isn't fair. As her foster father, I can vouch that this is her real natural hair color. And then they're like telling her to wear glasses, and then he's just like, you call yourself an educator? And like he was like getting really mad, and I guess like he just pulled her out of that school because obviously you know, they're not taking account of, you know, they're
not allowing her to be herself.
They're not allowing her to be herself. And I think that's such a like an important thing with this. Sota wanted Towa to like at least look herself, because Towa already had to kind of like conceal her strength, conceal her powers and stuff like that, while here it's like, you know, just at least have your hair color, you know. And I like, this is like off topic, but not off topic, but like I watched like TikTok videos of like foreigners in Japan, and apparently like even if you are born with a different hair color, sometimes like some schools will make you dye it black, which is crazy. And like have it straightened as well if your hair is curly. That's some schools, but not everything. Yeah, all schools. But like I heard
they just really want everyone to be uniform.
Yeah, to like be the same, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Which, you know, that's a whole different topic, but
yeah,
you know, that is what it is. So Towa like goes home and stuff like that, and she was like oh, even if I dye my hair, I wouldn't make any difference because my eyes, my face, the way I move, there's no way for me to change all that. My eyes creep people out. I still can't believe Papa Sota and Mama Moe are willing to take me in. I must have gotten my eyes from my birth parents. I wish I knew something about them. So at this point, we already know, like, oh my god, like, okay, I know it's like literally the bare minimum, but like compared to the anime, like Towa's just like la 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 la. I only care about Setsuna, you know. In the manga, already she's like, I wonder why I look different. I wonder who my parents are. Like, why do I have white hair? Why do I have like superhuman strength? Why am I faster than the other people? Why am I so different, basically? And you also see guilt. You also see guilt that like, you know, she feels like, oh, like I can't believe like Sota and Mama Moe, they're so kind. And I'm a freak, basically. I'm a freak. Basically like I'm a freak. Like I can't believe they would take me in and love me as their own child, right? So we meet Mei, and Mei is like literally, Mei and Sota are both like Towa's like biggest fangirls. It's really cute.
Oh, it's so cute.
Yeah, Ate, if you're eating the mic, you don't eat the mic because you're like peeking.
Oh,
okay.
Really?
Yeah.
I've seen it. Okay.
It's okay. Just I hired your volume already, but like you're
okay.
you're like talking like this.
Oh shoot.
Yeah. Okay. It's okay.
Okay,
So
thanks for letting me know.
Yeah. So
sorry.
So yeah. And then she comes home, she meets Mei, and basically Mei is just very clingy to Towa. She's like, Towa, you're mine, you're my sister, basically, like blah blah blah. Like I want to marry you. And then Towa's like, no thanks. But like, you know, just like as like in a sisterly way, not like in a weird way, obviously. And then so she's like on her way to like the shrine, and then she gets approached by this girl, basically, So like we already see like a big difference. There's no bullies, like there's no bullies that like take freaking Moe grandpa.
Yeah,
No,
that was
not
so
Moe.
weird. The whole thing was
That
so
was
strange.
so freaking weird.
But
Like
it was so funny
it was
at the
so
same
funny,
time.
but it was like, why is this happening right now? You know, it was just so random. But like, there's none of that. It's like straight
Yeah.
to paranormal. We're already straight to like the paranormal part. So there's this like little fangirl from like middle school, not middle school. Was it middle school? I don't know, junior high. She said, and she's like giving Towa like a love letter, a confession letter. She's like, yo, like let's hang out, let's be friends. And then Towa like notices, there's something wrong, right? Like she's kind of like, right? And then she was like, okay, like you know, if you want to hang out, let's meet up at like our shrine tonight, right? And the girl's like, okay, let's go. And then she's like, okay. Also, like I think another important thing is like Toa has like this like charm side. Like she's like really like, I don't know how to explain it. Like I'll just show the freaking panel, but like this is like what it is basically. I don't know how to explain it, but like Toa is like, how do you explain that? How do you explain it? She's like, it's not a tease, but it's like she knows how to charm people in a different way where it's just like, ah, you know, I don't know how to explain it, but she's just like,
Is it
yo,
like
come
Hino
after
from
dark.
Omori type of way?
No, not like that. It's like more in like a darker way, if that makes sense. She's just like, come tonight after dark. In fact, you can both come. I'll be waiting. And then May's like, both? Because I guess May can't see the other girl. So it's like hinting, oh, the other girl is a ghost, man. Is a ghost. So Sota goes back home and they're like, she's like giving Grandpa Higurashi a massage. And then basically Toa's like really strong, right? So she's like really good at giving massages and stuff like that. And then May was like, Aunt Kagome, did she have cool powers too? Like were Auntie's hands like Toa's, you know, like strong like that? And then this is where I'm like, finally, man, the bare minimum. We got the bare minimum. So May is like, finally, you know, she mentions Kagome, and I'm like, ah, finally.
Yeah.
So
Like from the get-go.
yeah, like thank you.
Great.
Like no one's like,
Thank you.
I forgot
Yeah.
I had a daughter. You know,
Uh-huh.
I don't know who these people are. You know, like there's none of that. None of that. They're like, okay, it's like so important. I feel like, especially with a new manga, like a sequel, your target audience is the OG fandom as well as a new fandom, right? So I think it's so important to explain, oh, who are these people? Like, again, you know, like to like refresh our memory and to give like a background info to the new to the new readers, right? So I think it's like it was so important. And then Grandpa's like, well, not as far as we knew, but apparently she did when she was in the feudal era. I hope she's happy there. She was so young to get married and go to a place she never could return from, right? So I think a lot of people after YashaHime, after Inuyasha ended, was like, oh, was Kagome ever able to come back? And based off of this manga, Mama Higurashi was like, she's so young to like get married and go to a place she could never return from. So like it was like, you know, marriage is like, you know, that's on paper, that's on money, if that makes sense. Like you're never, like she's never coming back basically after she hopped through the well. And there's a lot more I can go on, and there's a lot of stuff that I thought about after YashaHime or Inuyasha ended that Shiina touches on as well, with Kagome's family, and I think it was really cool. So yeah, and then May was like, Auntie did it because she was in love. It's so romantic, and
Aw.
it was so cool of you to let her go. And then, um, Grandma Higurashi is like, well, the choice wasn't ours to make. She wanted to live in his world with him, and I'm like, honestly, like, I feel like a lot of us could agree. We're all like, oh my god, like, um Kagome's mom is so irresponsible. Like she just let her go through the well or whatever and like fight for her life. But then at the end of the day, I think it was cool that, at that point Kagome's already like an adult, and like she has been thinking about, wanting to see Inuyasha for like well over 3 years, for like so long. And she's like, like, you survived this long, girly. You can survive the rest of your life there. So like it was really nice of her to like, being like, oh, Kagome, that this is your choice to make. It's not mine.
This is her
right?
life. Yeah.
So I think it was really cool. That was really cool. And then Toa goes, "Don't worry, you'll see her again someday, Grandma." And I think that's kind of foreshadowing that I think they're gonna actually reunite in the manga at one point. Which makes me happy. Um, and then Toa kind of talks about like, oh, like, I can't explain it, but like our worlds are still kind of connected because she obviously knows that like she came from that time, if that makes sense. So yeah.
I guess it's nice to know that Grandma Higurashi, like, until now, like, she knows that she didn't make a mistake of letting Kagome go. She knows that it was the right choice.
Yeah. So the manga is ongoing, right? Or did it finish already? It's still ongoing. So there's every month there's like a new chapter. And I don't know when the next volume is coming out, but I think sometime by the end of the summer, I think. But you can pre-order them. Pre-order the second volume already. But literally, it's so good. Like, Moroha and Sango already in this, man. And they're so funny. Okay, so yeah, and then I think because they were talking about Kagome and like her, big girl decision, Sota's grandpa was like, Sota, he's still like so immature, he's so childish, blah blah blah. And he was saying how like as a young boy he was like really responsible, like what could have led him astray, basically. So I think this kind of hints like after Inuyasha ended and Kagome just like hopped through the well, and how Mama Higurashi is kind of like, oh, like to make such a big decision to go to a time where you can't return from. I think when Kagome went through, she didn't have time to say goodbye to everyone. So I think Sota kind of had like a little bit of trauma from that, like, oh, like she just left. I never got to say goodbye. I never got to see Inuyasha and Kagome again. So I think that's where Grandpa Higurashi is kind of saying, oh, like Sota's not over it, like, because like there's a lot of points in the rest of this volume where Sota kind of like, hints that like Kagome, like he just like didn't get over that, if that makes sense. So yeah, so after that Sota's like, oh, can I use the thing? And then Grandpa's like, the thing? And they're like, yeah. And then he goes into the shrine and takes out a knife that has been in our family shrine for generations. Ha ha ha. So yeah, so this is like the sword that, not really a sword, but I think in the in the anime she had like this knockoff sword from the museum. And then it broke, right? Here she has like a knife from the shrine, like that has been in our family for generations. Ha ha ha. So yeah, so night approaches and Towa like meets up with the girl that like was like, yo, let's hang out, And this is where Towa's white outfit is revealed. So this is her outfit. This is her outfit. So that's where Towa's like outfit's revealed. And basically it's not uniform. It's actually like a demon slaying outfit, if that makes sense. So
What?
yeah, it's really cool. So everyone's like, Towa, where'd you get that outfit? You look amazing. Did you dress up for me? And then May, she's like she's like fangirl of Towa, and she's like or like territorial of Towa, and she's like, heck no, like don't think that, like she did not do that for you. She I was the one that chose this outfit for her. White wards off evil, and a suit makes it easy to move in, right? So in the manga, this outfit is not uniform. It's just, like a demon slaying outfit, if that makes sense. That May picked, which I think is really cute. It makes more sense than uniform, And yeah, so
Wait,
so
question.
yeah.
How come she had to switch clothes?
Because May says she's going to exercise you. So if you remember what I said earlier, when the girl was gonna confess, there was two girls, right?
Yes.
I don't know how to explain that properly. There's two girls, and one of them was a ghost, right? So basically, the girl had an attachment.
I see. Okay, got it.
So yeah, that's why she was like, "Yo, like let's meet. Like if you want to hang out, like, let's meet at the shrine so I can exercise you." Like she didn't say that part, but like, let's meet up at the shrine, right? So at this point, the whole freaking family is here at the shrine cheering this girl on. Sota is like pulling a freaking, what's it called? Mean Girl's mom moment with the freaking video camera, like, yo, Towa, do your best. Papa's gonna get this whole thing on camera. And then he's explaining like, oh, you can't like participate in any school sports and stuff like that because like her superhuman strength gives her an advantage, which isn't really fair. But he's like, but I can record your extracurricular activities, yay. Yeah. So then everyone's just like, oh my god, why is he like this? And then Moe comes up. And then she has like food. She's like, yo, like let's share this ham. I'm like, what is happening? Like the whole family's there to watch Towa. And then the girl that like rolled up was like, your whole family's here? What's going on? And I'm like, yeah, what's going on, girl? And yeah. So I think it's really nice to see her family like this because in the original Inuyasha, the Higurashis were always like super chaotic and weird and like super like supportive of like everything, especially like if you remember like the school cultural festival episode. Like it was like so funny. Bro, I have so much more to go and it's been 40 minutes. Anyways, so yeah, so Towa's going to freaking exercise this girl. And she explains that, yo, like, you got an attachment, basically. And the girl's like, I came alone. She's like, no. No, yeah. So then Towa takes the knife and basically stabs the ghost. And yeah, and then she's like, all in all, my life's pretty good. The Higurashis are kind and warm. I love them all, but it's not enough. I feel like I'm not a part of this world. I'm always a little off somehow. But whenever I come face to face with a monster, for that moment, it doesn't matter. So at this point, it's like, we already know, like, we've, like, this whole, like, since the beginning of this, like, volume, up to this point, we just have a lot of examples of Towa doesn't fit in, Towa loves her family, but she doesn't fit in, if that makes sense, right? So it's kind of like she yearns something, like she knows that there's something missing and she wants to find out what it is, aka like why she is the way she is, like who are her parents, basically, and that's something she wants to know, right? And again, in the anime, like everyone's just like lee. I don't know, man. I don't know what I'm doing. So yeah. So the demon disappeared and the girl runs away because she's scared. And then Grandpa's like, another brave battle, Towa. Did you capture it all? Like to Sota. Like, did you capture the whole thing on the video? And basically, the ghost wasn't captured on video. And Sota looks really sad. As per, he said, as usual, nope. Towa's on here, but not the monster. So again, like there's this other thing with like, you know, Sota's like little like not really obsession, but like maybe a little bit of obsession with like feudal era stuff. Like learning more about it. Like I feel like it's not entirely like he's not only like recording it entirely for Towa, but it's also like he wants to capture something like on camera, like for his research. I don't freaking know, something like that. And then it's so cute because Moe is like, oh, like, you know, you usually can't really see like demons and ghosts and stuff like that on a camera, and like most humans can't even see those. Like I feel like if you have like a third eye, then you can see those things. And then Sota's like, true, but my sister's doggy boyfriend was half demon and I could see him. He was strong. He was strong, fun, and cool. I wish we could meet again, big brother. And I'm like,
Sota looked up to Inuyasha.
Yeah, I remember Soul Stealer. Like he was like, bro, like this is cute. Cause I think it's another thing where it's like Sota didn't have a father figure, right? So maybe like to him, Inuyasha was like that figure to him, not like father exactly, but like the older, like the brother, you know, that he always wanted or something like that, like the male figure in his life, if that makes sense. Which, you know, like I freaking love this. I love this. What did I even write here? This is like the Soul Piper episode. Like he's wearing his pajamas, and then they're gonna like go to the construction site to like save Kagome.
Yeah.
Wait, no, not the Soul Piper. Sorry. The flesh eating mask. The flesh eating mask episode. But I think what Moe said was like referencing the Soul Piper, like how some humans can't see the Soul Piper. Where the like flesh eating mask was kind of whack, you know, like everyone's being freaking swallowed up into like a human flesh bubble. And no, the next day, it's a new day in Japan. But yeah, and then all of a sudden, blah 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 blah. There is like corruption in the sacred tree, and then Mistress Centipede goes through the tree time portal, basically, and then yeah, so the Mistress Centipede goes through the freaking portal and is like, ha ha ha, I'm here. I'm going to eat you all. Okay, not exactly, but yeah. And then this demon is actually showing up on the video camera. So I think it's like, maybe it's because it's like a stronger demon or something. I don't know. That it can actually show up on camera. But yeah, and then I think the art is like really stunning. The art is just stunning. It's like really scary but stunning. So basically the Mr. Centipede is there to kill Towa. Basically, it wants to eat her. I shall kill and devour thee. And then basically Towa puts up a fight. She stabs it with the knife, and it's like, ow. It's like, ow. And then as Towa's gonna like do the final blow, the knife breaks. Basically. But she's like, what a rush. This is what I was born for. Like, she feels really connected to like fighting demons and stuff like that, you know, like this is where she feels like her true self, where she can, you know, jump high, use her like strength and stuff like that, fighting. So she feels at home doing this type of stuff. But then the knife breaks basically, and Mr. Centipede pulls out her true form. Scary, so scary. And then yeah, And then she's saying how like how good it feels to like jump really high and everything. And like and then all of a sudden an arrow appears and strikes Mistress Centipede. And then Towa looks up, an arrow, where did that come from? She looks at the top of the building and it's Setsuna and Moroha! Finally! And
I was like, are they gonna show up this time, like during this part, or no?
yeah, it's so.
But they do.
They do. 1 second, I'm gonna drink water.
Jay mentioned that the whole thing with Sota kind of like being really interested in the feudal era. He says that it's a way of coping. He thinks.
Yeah, I definitely think so too. So Moroha and Setsuna comes in, and you know what Moroha says? She says, "What's taking you so long, cousin? Hurry up and crush that bug. You've already wounded it." So at this point, Moroha already knows that they're cousins, and Setsuna obviously knows that that's her sister, right?
Wow, she's so cool.
Right? Wait, let me show.
She believes that Towa can like just take
cool.
them on.
So cool. Moroha's so freaking cute. Like, what a baby. What a baby. And then she's like, according to the Tree of Ages, according to the Tree of Ages, that's your twin sister, Setsuna. And then Setsuna's like, my sister, that girl. She looks so cool. Setsuna looks so freaking cool. So, but basically, like, none of them really, like, recognize each other, if that makes sense. None of them really recognize each other. And then, like, Towa's like, whoa, her eyes, they're even scarier than mine. And then Sota's like, oh my god, does this mean, like, our worlds are connected again? And then because Towa's knife broke, Setsuna throws, like, a new sword at her, you know, to use. And then they fight. She fights the freaking... The Tree of Ages! Okay, elusive? Shut up. Hi, Moon! Hi, Moon!
Hi, Moon!
It's story time! Get a blanket. Yeah. And then Towa uses, like, her sword. It's just like, sling, sling. Ha, ha, ha. And then I think at this point, Setsuna's kind of, like, analyzing, like, you know, like, her aura is, like, decent at least, I guess. You know, like... she's already kind of sassy towards Towa and stuff. But yeah. And like they're saying these things like, oh, like, you know, she can like add her I'm not gonna say manga. Add her aura to the, or like power to the sword and stuff like that. But she doesn't know how to do that, right? And then, you know, it's very similar to the anime where, you know, Towa kind of messes up a little bit, and then the girls, Towa and Setsuna and Moroha would like kind of yell at Towa kind of for like messing up. But like, you know, you can't really blame Towa because like she doesn't know what's freaking happening. It's just like all of this is being thrown at her right now, right? So the centipede boy grabs Towa and goes through the well. Not the well, sorry, goes through the time tree tunnel, basically. And they're like, oh my god, like, it's trying to escape to the other side, let's get going, like Moroha and Setsuna. And then Sota actually grabs Moroha and is like, wait, please, just a minute. And then she's like, what the hell, let me go, it's getting away, right? So like Sota actually stops Moroha and is like, yo, what is going on, you know? So, it kind of teases us at that point. Like, we kind of move past, and, like, she talks about it again later. But, basically, they go through the time tree tunnel. And, they're in the feudal era. So, Towa's in the feudal era. And then, Mr. Centipede's there. And then, Setsuna goes through and slices Mr. Centipede's head off. And then, she's like, yo, where am I? What the heck? She's like, it looks like the boonies. And then, you know, the usual, Setsuna's like saying, yo, like, why'd you let your guard down and stuff like that. And she's saying, no one so weak and foolish could be my older twin sister, you know? It's very similar to the anime at this point, with that, you know? Erase SO? What do you mean, Moon? What do you mean? So yeah. So at this point, Moroha goes through the time tree tunnel. We don't really know what Sota says yet, but it comes later. And then I'm really sad that they didn't use Kagome's yellow bag, but it was like it looks like a military bag, if that makes sense. It looks like a military bag. But yeah. So basically they're like, where did this sack come from? And basically her family gave it to me. And it's like basically Papa Sota's emergency bag. He kept it ready in case he ever had to go back to the feudal era. Which
Aww.
yeah, so like he was like really prepared, like if anything were to happen, like if Towa would have to go back, we would have like emergency supplies for her to survive there. Because you know she's a modern era girl, you know. But I think there's like, I don't know if this is a translation error or whatever, but it says he kept it ready in case he ever had to go back to the feudal era. And the thing is, Sota's never been to the feudal era, so I don't know if that's like a typo or whatever, but that's like just one thing. Got to go, guys. Thanks for streaming, Angela. Positive vibes to all you awesome people. Good night. Good night, Peter.
Good night, Peter. Thanks for dropping by.
Yeah. So yeah. So you know, the Towa's already like, she already knows about the feudal era and everything. She's like, yo, could this be? And then Moroha's like, you're Towa, right? I'm your cousin Moroha, and this is your twin Setsuna. I don't know if we should celebrate or not, but congratulations on coming home after 10 years away. And then Towa's like, is this my home? Basically. And there's like this really pretty illustration of like Rin and Kagome and the girls, and it's really freaking pretty. But yeah, so basically at this point we know now that Towa was gone for 10 years. Basically. So yeah. So basically, when Sota grabbed Moroha and was like, yo, wait a minute. And then she's like, what the hell? Let go of me. It's getting away. And then Papa Sota is like, are you from the feudal era? Have you heard of Kagome and Inuyasha? And then Moroha, like, how do you not look at Moroha and be like, yo, that girl looks just like my sister and Yasha combined. Yeah. Because, like, when you look at her, you're like, oh my god, that's literally, like, the Robo Fire Rat, you know? Like, she looks exactly like them. But, yeah, Sota's like, are you from the feudal era? Have you heard of Kagome and Inuyasha? And she's like, huh? How do you know my mom and dad? And then he freezes. And then he's like, huh, hey, mom, grandpa, get over here. And they're like, what is it, Sota? This part had me screaming. I was like, this girl is Kagome's daughter. And then yeah, guys, oh my god. And then I wrote a footnote. I was like, a reaction. Moroha knows her parents? Question mark? So yeah, I think that's really cute. Like, you know, like I think in the anime, Mama Higurashi looked at Moroha and was like, she has Kagome's eyes. Is that Kagome's daughter? I kind of like that a lot too. But I think it's like just the urgency of like freaking out, like, oh my god, this is actually her, you know? That's like,
yeah, that, like, and like telling everyone, like, hey,
like, yo, like, this is her daughter. Like, we haven't seen her in like 15 years, man, you know? And this child is her daughter. This is your granddaughter that you've never seen it before. Like, Inuyasha and Kagome's daughter! And it's like, yeah! You know? I'm freaking fangirling. So, okay, there's this part where, okay, and then, it cuts to them in the feudal era. The girls in the feudal era, and then they're at Kaede's place, and they're like, Grandma, are you still alive in there? Grandma Kaede! Like, Moroha's like, you know how, like, freaking Inuyasha's always like, yo, are you alive, Kaede? Are you still alive? You old hag. You know, Moroha's literally the same. So, I don't know, like, did Kaede always have hippo teeth? Or is it just me?
Wait, what? What do you
Like
mean?
she has like hippo teeth. She has hippo teeth.
like buck teeth.
Hippo teeth. Like she has like no teeth in the middle, but she has like teeth.
Oh,
You know, it's
yeah.
like-
Did she always have that?
I don't know. So basically, Kaede opens the door. She's like, "Yo, quiet down, Moroha. I'm alive, frick." And then they're like, and she's like, "How did it go?" And then they show Towa, and they're like, "Look." And then Kaede's like freaking out. Big, is that really you? I'm so happy that you're safe, you know? And she's like, this is Grandma Kaede. She looks after us, right? You did not say hippo teeth. Does it not look like hippo teeth? Does it not look like hippo teeth? Does it not look like hippo teeth though? Poor Kaede, I'm sorry. You know, like, I think yes. I actually don't remember if she had the hippo teeth. Hi CJ. Hi game. Welcome. So basically at this point, you know, Kaede's having like this urgency, like, oh my god, like it's been 10 years, like I'm actually freaking out, like I can't believe you're alive. You're safe, you're sound and everything. And then Moroha basically says, yo, like introduces Kaede, like, oh, this is Grandma Kaede, she looks after us. So in the anime, hippo teeth. In the anime, basically, I think Kaede only took care of Setsuna, and Moroha was freaking like on the streets for some reason, living on her own. But in the manga, Kaede actually took care of both Setsuna and Moroha, which is really nice. She didn't, but it's funny that she does. I mean, she's old AF, so if she lost a couple teeth, it's no big deal. Yeah, I know. It's just funny to see now. I'm just like, did she always have that hippo teeth? Yeah. I think there's like a lot of people coming in. I think it like notifies you guys like an hour in my stream. Again, so welcome guys. If you missed it, don't worry, the VOD will be up, but I'll also be making like a more curated, like edited version of this video. I know it's gonna be hella long, but it's really fun talking, like kind of fangirling with you guys over the manga. It'd be really fun to do like every volume that comes out too. I'd have a good time doing that. If you guys want. But anyways, is the manga like the sequel to second season finale or something else? It's basically it's supposed to be an adaptation of the anime, but the story is very, very, very different. Okay, not very, very different, but like, it's just, in my opinion, a lot more well written, if that makes sense. So yeah. So basically, Kaede like makes a lot of food for them to eat now that they're back, and Setsuna is like really sassy right now. She's like, "What a waste! Such an extravagant meal, and it's not even New Year's." And yeah, and also Setsuna has a really cute like non-demon slaying outfit, which is like really nice. Which is like really cute. Non-demon slayer outfit, because I think in the anime she mainly wore just her demon slaying outfit, whereas here she actually wears like a new like outfit during their off
Like
time.
a kimono.
Yeah,
Like
well,
kind
I
of
think
like
she wears pants
sangha?
though. She wears pants. It's kind of like, you know, like
that's cute.
karate outfit. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know the proper
Like a robe?
terminology. Yeah, kind of like that. So yeah. So yeah, and basically, Kaede's like, you know, like, yeah, it's a lot of food, but you guys shouldn't worry about it. Like, we should be celebrating today, basically. And then, you know, Setsuna and Moroha give me, Sesshomaru and Inuyasha vibes if they grew up together. That's what they are, like, in my opinion. Minus, like, the huge, like, you know, hatred towards Inuyasha, you know? So yeah. So Moroha basically is eating, and then, you know, Sasuna's like, "Man, is Moroha, you always like gobble your food like that." And then she's like, "I can't help it, it's so tasty, I live to eat." And then she's like, "Are you a girl or are you a dog?" I mean, y'all are half dogs, so like, you know. So Towa is trying feudal era food for the first time, and basically she notices that it's a bit salty. And then Kaede talks about how, oh, you don't like the food? And she's like, no, it's fine. And she's like, oh, like, Kagome didn't really like the food when she first came here either. And then Towa's like, oh, my aunt Kagome. And then she's like, of course, she married Inuyasha. They lived here for a time! Ah! You know? You know? And then she's like, along with your mother, Rin. So at this point, Kaede already be telling information that we know, I mean, that we need to know, like, or the girls need to know, right?
As she should.
As she freaking should. So she's like, my aunt Kagome, yeah, they lived together here with, after she married Inuyasha, they lived here with Rin. And then Towa's like, Rin, that's the name of my birth mother? Cause like Towa's never known, never known Rin. It's so sad. And then she's like, oh, like you don't remember. Well, that's to be expected. You were very young when you left us. And then she was like, didn't these two explain anything to you? And then Towa's like, I think they tried, but Moroha keeps getting distracted, and Setsuna was hunting down the centipede. They're so cute. And then Moroha's like, hey, I told you all about. Whoa, this is so good. What is it? Like she's already like getting freaking like distracted. Like she's so freaking cute. They're so cute. So yeah. So basically, Setsuna's like, I think it's better if you tell Towa the story, cause like, as you should, Kaede, you were like the mostly there. And she's like, yeah, it's not like Setsuna and I even remember Towa. And she's like, and then Towa's like, but we all live together. And she's like, tell me everything. Grandma and Papa Sota will want to know too. Like, not just about me, but Aunt Kagome. Like, I like that Towa doesn't only care about like herself. Like, I think in the anime she was more like, I don't care about anything. I only care about Setsuna in the anime. And like, I'm just gonna go home, But in the manga, she's like, I want to know like who my parents are, like my backstory, like my like Grandma Higurashi would want to know, Papa Sota would want to know, and tell me more about like Aunt Kagome, because like they all care about Kagome too, right? So I think that's like, so like Towa doesn't remember anything. And then I wrote here, MVP Kaede for telling us information. Oh my god. So she's like, it's a long story, but once upon a time, as she should, anime Kaede is just like, I don't know what's going on, man. Like, Setsuna's half demon? What the hell? I mean, no. Actually, no. Actually, no. In the anime, Kaede's like, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, Kohaku. I know you've been working with Kaede. I know you were.
Oh geez.
Yeah, she's like, I know you were working with like Setsuna for like 6 months, but I forgot to tell you she's half demon. And then Kohaku, as a freaking demon slayer, is like, she's half demon? Really? Really? I didn't even know. But yeah. Okay, Jay, thank you for helping. Okay. So, basically, she's like, a great dog demon lived in ancient China. He had 2 sons. The eldest son was Sesshomaru, who was a proud, pure-blooded dog demon who would one day grow up to be a father to you and Setsuna. Why am I saying it like this? Frick. Anime Kaede didn't say Yi child enough, that's why she was lacking info. You know what? I still believe that Kaede was possessed. Like, that wasn't our girl, His younger half-brother, his younger half-brother was Inuyasha. His mother was a human princess. Aww! And he would grow up to be Kagome's husband and Moroha's father. Aww! So cute. I'm already freaking fangirling. And then she's like, Sesshomaru refused to accept that his father had fallen in love with a human. He resented his half-human brother. Again and again, he attacked Inuyasha, trying to win back their father's sword. But at every turn, Inuyasha and Kagome thwarted him. Their love made them a formidable team!
Ah!
Oh yeah, if you guys want to follow along, I'm on page... What page am I on? I'm on page 80, 81, 82, 83, 84... 84. I'm on page 84. I'm on 85 now. I kind of wish Kaede was like... I kind of wish Kaede mentioned Moroku and Sango too, because it wasn't just in UCAG. They had like a whole team too, you know. But I think she's just kind of summarizing the story just to tell, you know, Towa about the main parts, which is like their parents, you know. So she's like, at every turn, Inuyasha and Kagome thwarted him. Their love made them a formidable team. Not even Sesshomaru could deny their power. So, so finally, Sesshomaru reflected at length upon their mysterious power and himself. At last, a day came when he too realized that he ought to be to be lived to the fullest. Sorry. I should read that again. Finally, Sesshomaru reflected at length upon their mysterious power in himself. And at last, a day came when he, too, realized that life ought to be lived to the fullest. And then, and like his brother and his father, he fell in love with a human. Ha! You freaking weirdo! Freaking weirdo, you clown! You clown! Clown Sesshomaru! You know, like, how much he freaking roasted a Toga for falling in love with a woman. He roasted Inuyasha for falling in love with a woman. He roasted Moroku for falling in love with a woman. Just for him to fall in love with a woman. That is human. Sorry, I should have said human this whole time. But I meant human. Anyways, so after that, their days were peaceful and happy. Time passed like a dream. Rin grew into a beautiful woman. And yeah, so I love this. Look how pretty she is. And that like you know, like the how Sesshomaru does like the hand holding thing with her face. Like, I think it's freaking cute. I think that's freaking cute. So this is my favorite part of the freaking. This is my favorite part. This is my favorite part. I love this part so much. It's so freaking funny. It had me like the way when I was reading it, I was freaking dying. I had to close the book and freaking put my head down and like hold my screaming because I was reading this at like 3 a.m. Anyways, so Kagome's like, "Hey Kaede, where's Rin today?" And Kaede's like, "Off with Sesshomaru again." Ooh. And then Inuyasha's like, he's like, home, you know, here on the tree. And then Kagome's like, "He's a pretty nice brother-in-law after all, isn't he?" He's so nice. Sesshomaru's so nice, man. You know? What? So nice. No, because Kagome's like, "He's a pretty nice brother-in-law after all, isn't he?" And then Inuyasha's like, "Hey, don't get too chummy with him." He's like, like thing, right? And then Kagome's like, "Sit." And then he like sat, or like, you know. And then Inuyasha's like, "What'd you do that for?" And she's like, "Inuyasha, this is my favorite." I'm freaking fangirling. Like, I can finally like unleash my freaking energy from last night because I could not. But she's like, "It's not like I'm jealous of Rin and your brother or anything. We're married now, so act like my husband." Oh frick, I read this wrong. No, I read this wrong. Sorry. She said, "It's not like I'm jealous of Rin and your brother or anything, but we haven't had much time for romance, haven't we? We're married now, so act like a husband."
Oh my god, go away!
Atsa, man, don't eat your mic, man. Don't eat your mic.
I'm not, I'm just screaming really loud. Sorry.
Anyways, but yeah, it's so freaking funny. So yeah. Okay, let me read it again. It's not like I'm jealous of you, Rin, and your brother or anything, but we haven't had time. We haven't had much time for romance, haven't we? We're married now and act like my husband. And then Inuyasha's like, I always do. I'm always by your side. What else do you want? You know? And then, and then she says, and then she says, you could take me to a scenic spot and gaze into my eyes with fiery passion. No, it's so freaking funny. It's so freaking funny. It's so funny because, you know, Kagome is like a hopeless romantic. Like she thinks about,
yeah.
you know, she thinks about all these like things like scenarios in her head. Like, oh my god, like one day I can cook for Inuyasha and like he'll like my food and stuff like that. You know, stuff like that, right?
She's already like reminiscing like
right?
how they would be in like married life kind of thing.
Yeah. So Kagome's like, we're married now, so act like my husband. And he's like, I'm always by your side. What else do you want, right? So Inuyasha, I think for him, it's like, just Kagome being by his side is like more than enough for him. Like that's all he wants. Like to be happy.
Oh, that's so wholesome.
You know. And obviously, like it's not. I'm not saying like you know, Kagome, that's not enough for Kagome. I think she's happy just being by Inuyasha's side, obviously, especially like after the final act she said. She just wants to be by Inuyasha's side and everything. But like, you know, people have like different like love languages and stuff like that, and like I think Kagome's is like, you know, act of service and like quality time maybe. And I think Inuyasha's is quality time too. And maybe gifts. But yeah. And this part is the part. Literally, I put LMFAO. This is my footnotes, guys. Like, literally, I had to put all of my energy of screaming into this freaking sticky note. So basically, she goes. So all of a sudden, like, cause like you know, they're with Kagome too needy. Nah, I don't think so. Like, if she like you know like people like. Fetal era time is so boring. Like you can like go on a walk or something. Like that's not. I don't think that's too much to ask. Genuinely, I don't think that's too much to ask. So as they're having this conversation about you know Kagome wanting to do more romantic stuff with Inuyasha, Kaede is there too. She's like literally in the scene, and she's like, Kaede is like, I'll be heading home. Now that you two are getting closer, you need private time and a place of your own. And she's like, by the way, don't worry. Hardly anyone passes through this way.
Oh my god!
This had me cackling. Like, it's actually...
I'm dead.
It's actually insane. And they're like, hey, come back. Nothing's about to happen right this minute. Not right now, but later. Do 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 do. Yeah.
God.
And then it cuts to basically Rin giving birth. Kaede will avert eyes. Do you remember that? That's it. Kaede.
Yeah.
Avert eyes, children.
Yeah.
So freaking funny. So yeah. Kaede is every Inuyasha and Kagome fan, right? Like, I'll leave you alone, you know? Kaede, how do you know? I feel like Kaede's been known. Like, she's seen many children in her life and all these people, you know. She has to take care of all these people's kids, man. Throughout her whole life. But yeah, I mean, I think she also knows, like the couple lives at her place. They don't even have their own house, man. They don't even have their own house at the time. So yeah, so basically it cuts to Rin giving birth to the twins, and basically she's like, oh yeah, like I'm naming them Towa and Setsuna. Based off of this panel, Sesshomaru wasn't present when she was giving birth, and I think it's like a normal thing in feudal Japan. I think I read that somewhere, but yeah. And then I think Kagome was there when Rin gave birth, and then this one is so freaking cute. This part is so cute. She's like, Moroha's the older sister, or the older one basically, and she's already birthed when the twins were birthed by like a few months, I think, only. But it's so cute. She's like, you hear that? You meet your new cousins, Moroha. And then Inuyasha's like, sure, they're cute, but Kagome, Moroha threw up on my robe of the fire wrap. And then Kagome's like, good girl, nice burp. So like, baby Moroha like threw up on Inuyasha, and so freaking cute. They're so freaking cute. They're so freaking cute, man. And you know, Sesshomaru just been there, chilling in the sky, from like watching with his freaking binoculars, frick. And basically, Jockin's translating Sesshomaru's feelings. As your Sesshomaru, as your loyal servant, I am overwhelmed with emotion. Please accept my hearty congratulations, if I may say a few words. And then Sesshomaru's like, no, we'll be on our way now. And then he's like, we'll send gifts later. And he's like, and then, Jockin's like, oh, the master is pleased, very pleased. Wow, thank you for translating. Bye, game. Thank you for stopping by. But yeah. So basically, this is how Towa finds out she's half demon. Basically, she's like, I'm half demon, so I'm only half human. And yeah. So the difference between, again, the manga and the anime, we got the whole birth part and everything, backstory from the get-go. Like literally, we're not even halfway through the volume, and we're already there. And basically, like they were not, from what we know here so far, they were not kidnapped, but like Sesshomaru never took them after Rin gave birth, which is like so nice, because like that was so brutal, like for the anime to do. Just like for Rin to be separated for her kid, and like she never held them for like, I feel like that the anime kind of like gave them like let's see like the hardest thing we can do for them possible. Like, I don't know, frick. It was like, I feel so bad for Rin in the anime. But yeah. Let me drink some water again, because I've been talking. Okay. So yeah, so Towa just finds out she is half demon. She's like, bruh, I'm half demon only. We're not full drinking. She's like, I'm half demon, so I'm only half human. And then she's like saying like how she did have like suspicions, because she did know about like Inuyasha and how Inuyasha was half demon and everything. But she wasn't like exactly sure what she was. And she was like, it was I was never exactly normal, but still it's a lot to take in. And yeah, I think the art also is really cute too. Like, honestly, like guys, like if you're just popping in, I pinned the link in the chat for you to purchase the manga. I honestly think it's a different experience to read it on your own, so I really recommend reading it on your own, because like there's a lot of like really funny stuff that happens as well. But yeah, so Setsuna's like, I can guess what you're thinking. You're surprised to learn that Moroha and I have demon blood. And Towa's like, yeah, man, like, oh my god, they're like half demon too. And basically Moroha's saying like she's quarter demon, stuff like that. And they explain that they got bullied by older kids when they're younger. The older kids would throw rocks at them, and they would even like fight them back. But basically Setsuna and Moroha would like fight them back, right? And like they would like run away, and like they would get upset because it's like, oh, you're running away from a fight you started, basically. So it's like, you know, it's like the values of like the original Inuyasha show. It's like, oh, like don't run away from like the battles and stuff like that. So yeah, so yeah, so basically they're saying with their powers they're like free to live as they wish in the feudal era, because like no one really messes with them because they're so strong, even though they did get bullied. And in our time, demons are bigger, are a bigger danger than war or disease. People pay us to run them out of villages. It's a fun way to make a living. So basically they're also saying like how because they learned how to like defend themselves and fight and stuff like that, they started to take that strength to their advantage and like use it to make money, because obviously Kaede's not rich either. Obviously whatever had happened in the past, Inukag Sesshomaru probably did not leave them money, so it's nice to know that you know, Moroha and Setsuna also help Kaede out with like, you know, money and like buying food and stuff like that. And they also reference Shippo here, little Shippo. So basically they're saying how like Setsuna is saying how she does like demons though, and she's like, and Kaede's like, the small harmless ones who get along with humans aren't bad, aka Shippo. And then Setsuna's like, that's true, but that's not what I meant. She said, even if a demon is ghastly and filled of murderous rage, when I encounter it, I feel a connection. So she just like has like this like bloodlust or like some connection like with demons in general. I think it's just like, you know, in what's his name, Sesshomaru's blood in their veins, like, you know how he's like a really strong demon and everything. So yeah, and I think Towa is like, yo, I can relate, like when I fought the Mistress Centipede, and whenever like I encounter ghosts and stuff like that in the modern era, like I feel that connection as well, right? So yeah, she's like, yeah, I know that feeling, isn't it weird? And then they're like, that is the blood of your father running through your veins, the blood of kings. And then they're like, who said that? And it's Miyoga. So Miyoga appears already, and Miyoga appears and he's like, my lord had the same instincts. Demons are your natural allies. If they refuse to aid you, you must vanquish them. So basically, yeah, so it's just like they're like natural instincts, I guess you could say. He's explaining that, like, you know, that's a normal thing, like, and like what I like about it so far as well is like a lot of like questions are already answered, right? Like questions that, you know, like the audience already knows, that like shouldn't be really hidden, right? Because it's like it'll just be like dragging on, like if it just takes so long for the characters to find out answers that we already know, right? And I think that's what they did really well with this, is to kind of just like get that away from the get-go, so like we can like have more questions of like other stuff that we actually don't know about from the original series and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that's cool. So yeah, so yeah, so Kaede finally tells what the frick happened, like why they were separated, why not that they were separated, but like why like they were taken away and stuff like that, you know, like the stuff that went down. And like I think it's so, I'm like so happy that they're like saying that in the beginning, to have like, you know, that push of like there's genuinely no reason for us not to know, you know. I think it should have a manga reboot. I actually don't know if they will have, like, if they would ever adapt the manga version, but who knows. So basically, Ata, are you still there?
I'm here. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, basically Kaede finally tells what the frick happened, and like, again, I'm like so glad that she actually knows what the frick happened. So basically, and this is really random, but like it's really funny how Inuyasha opens or like knocks on Kaede's door, because it literally parallels how Moroha did it earlier in the story. She's like, Grandma Kaede, are you still alive? And she's like, shut up, I'm alive. What is it, Inuyasha? It's late and the rain's pour. And then she got cut off. And then Inuyasha arrives at Kaede's hut with a random man, and like a lot of us are like, that's probably Riku, you know. It's probably Riku, right? So, basically he's like, sorry to wake you, but this is urgent. We have to go away for a while. And then Kaede's like, away? But what about Kagome and Moroha? And then Inuyasha's like, yeah, they're coming too. They're coming too! They're coming too! They're coming too. And then, they're like, along with Rin and the twins. So, there's like this... Yeah, so Rin and the twins are coming too!
So
My goodness.
splitting up.
No, like they're going somewhere, you know? They're just going somewhere. And like they're in this carriage in the sky. It kind of reminds me of the episode of the Unmother in the original Inuyasha series as well, which is really cool. So there's a carriage in the sky, and Rin and Kagome are in the carriage with the kids, and like, goodbye Granny. And then Kaede's like, what's happening? You know, like, what's happening? And then Kagome's like, we don't have time to talk, sorry. Don't worry, Madame Kaede. And then Inuyasha's like, that's all I can tell you. Please look after our place. We shouldn't be away for more than a month. So basically they were only supposed to be gone for a month. Only 1 month. And then, the mysterious man, aka probably Riku, is like, we must depart now. So, at least in this part, they explain, you know, why Kaede doesn't know the full story, but at least Kaede can explain what she saw, you know, what she experienced, because Kagome doesn't, like, they had to leave now, you know. In the anime, we kind of just had to assume, you know, it was probably urgent, you know, like I'm glad that they kind of just mentioned it, so, you know, we don't really have to like question all this stuff, right? So, Riku boy is like, yo, we gotta leave. And then Kaede's like, who's that, man? Like, he's not even human. And then, Inuyasha's like, it's alright, he knew my father. So, the thing with Riku as well, in the anime, it was like, Riku was kind of like a servant to Kirinmiru. And Riku was kind of, you know, when he was like created, I guess, he was kind of like, leader. Don't really know much, but I think it's cool that Inuyasha's like, he knew my father, like, he was there since the beginning, if that makes sense. He was there long ago, and he actually had like an impact. There's like a lot more to his character that they're trying to do with this, and I really like it. So basically Inuyasha's saying, I can't really tell you more because it's gonna endanger the village. And again, like what we said in the anime, we kind of just had to assume, oh, you know, they probably didn't say anything to protect them, you know. But I'm glad that like he kind of explains it with communication. Yo, like, we shouldn't tell you much. We're only gonna be gone for a month. We can't tell you much just to protect you, but we're just letting you know we're gonna be gone for a month, right? We just want you to be like, the less you know, the safer you'll be, basically. So yeah, and then he even says, tell Sango and Moroku will be back soon. So at least he thought about them, because in the anime, like, they were like MIA, like, man didn't know nothing. Yeah. They didn't know anything. I was like, what the? But like, at least he's like, yo, tell Moroku and Sango, like, we don't have time right now, but like, tell them we'll be back soon. Because it was only supposed to be a month. I feel like in Feel Era times, like, that month will just go by like another blink of an eye, you know? And then Kaede's like, wait, Inuyasha, explain, like, please, like, let me know. And then, like, she was like, that's the last I saw of them. Something must have gone terribly wrong. It's been 3 years since they left, and they haven't returned. So, like, this is like a time skip in the memory of how Kaede's telling. So it's 3 years after Inuyasha, the kids, and Kagome and Rin left. So at that point, Kagome, Rin, the kids were like straight up babies. Like, they were like newborn babies at that point. When they left for quote unquote a month. But now that it's been 3 years, this part had me like, I wanted to cry. Like, I felt so bad for Kaede. So let me read this to you. Knowing them, whatever is keeping them away must be serious. Even if they're enduring hard times, I'm sure they're still alive. I can feel it in my bones. What shall I do now? Kikyo, my sister. So like, she's like, you know, asking her sister, like, obviously Kaede thought of Inuyasha and Even though it's kind of like weird because like she knew Inuyasha when like she was a child. Like I think at that point she's been with them. Like she's the older one in this situation. She sees like Kagome and Inuyasha as like her own like kids, and like they were gone from her, and she's like asking Kikyo like, yo, like what should I do? Like they've been gone for 3 years. They said that they would be gone for a month, but um but yeah. And she's like, I've been through many trials in my life. I don't have the strength to face another ordeal. After those few blessed years of happiness, I'm all alone again.
Oh, Kaede.
I know, Kaede baby. I was so sad. I was like, I mean, at least I'm glad that they explored more of like her internal thoughts, because like because I remember like when YASHAHIME came out, we're all like, oh my god, like she's so old, man, like how's she alive? Like this girl been through so much, like, and stuff like that. But like in the anime, I feel like she was just kind of there for like quote unquote information, even though she wasn't really there for information. I don't know, but I'm glad that they kind of explored her character more and been like, yo, like like she feels sad that like Inuyasha and Kagome are gone and the kids are gone, like the people that she lived with for like a couple of years, like she was like so happy to live with them, like in peaceful life, and now she's just like left in the dark not knowing what happened to them. And then so yeah, let me reread it, but she said
so many people just like came and went in her life.
Yeah, a lot of people came and went, and she's like, yo, I'm so old now, like I can't I don't know if I can go through this again. She's like, I've been through many trials in my life. I don't have the strength to face another ordeal. After those few blessed years of happiness, I'm all alone again. Perhaps
alone,
and then she says and then she says, perhaps I should join you, big sister.
Oh my
yeah
god!
I was like,
that hit my heart.
I was literally my foot, I was screaming internally screaming. I was like, no. My foot, no. Yeah, it's
god,
so freaking sad. It's
like,
so
I'm
sad.
actually tearing up a bit.
It's so sad. And then an apparition appears, basically. An apparition appears, and then it's like, Kaede.
Say it like that.
Cause it's like a scary apparition. And then like Kaede's like, Kikyo? Right? And it's like, and then she's like, yeah, she's like, it's not her though. It looks and sounds the same, but the presence is not like a ghost or a demon. It's like something else. Yeah, it's Kikyo basically. I am the tree of ages. Be strong of heart. Your loved ones shall return to you. You must have faith. And I think it's really cute that, like, you kind of see Kaede's perspective, because like I guess like she doesn't really say anything. She's like kind of there usually, but I think it's like really sweet that they kind of explored her, like what she thinks of Inukag, Rin, and the girls, like what she thinks of them, and she thinks of them as family, and this confirms it, and it's like and then so basically Chikyo's like, yo girl, I'm the tree of the Kyo. Be strong, don't give up.
The tree of the Kyo.
Yeah, tree of the Kyo. Kyo? So she's like, don't give up, like even though Kaede's like straight up gonna like freaking, I'm over this shit. I'm over everyone leaving me. But she's like, yo, like don't give up. The people you love will return. Just have faith. And then she's saying like a little prophecy saying, first two children raise them well. And then Kaede's like, 2, but there are 3 girls. And then Kikyo is like, after 10 years, return to this place. Here, the 3 princesses will reunite, and they shall heal the rift in time and find their parents. So have hope, Kaede. Your elder sister wishes it so.
So she was talking about Setsuna and Moroha.
Yeah, Setsuna. So yeah, the 2 will return to you, and then 10 years later, a 3rd will come back. Like they will all reunite 10 years later, which is like a crazy ass freaking prophecy, right? And I liked how they revealed it was Kikyo's thing here at the end. I think that was like, I could see in my head like you know, like if they ever adapted it into an anime, I could see like the scenes, the music, the freaking cherry blossoms, the freaking, I don't freaking know, man. Like, I don't know, like I could see it in my head, and it just looks so beautiful. So yeah, and then Kikyo disappears, and basically, yeah. So Miyoga explains that the Tree of Ages basically has been alive since before the time of humans and demons, and since the days of God, and basically that the tree inhabits trees, like many trees, more than 1,000 years old. So it moves between the tree's past and future to heal rifts in time, and protects the universe. So basically, the Tree of Ages is basically just like a I don't know how to explain it, police officer of like time. It basically just tries to fix everything like that goes wrong, if that makes sense. So so yeah. So basically they're saying Miyoko's saying how it's like kind of weird that it takes the form of like Kikyo, and then Kaede is like, oh, it's because that's like it was Inuyasha's tree, and then she said, my sister's arrow suffused with her power, and it was lodged into the tree. And then she said, her love for us must have flowed into the Tree of Ages. And then, is that right, Miyoga? And then Miyoga's like, boing, yes. Boing. And then the twins are, Towa's like, oh, who's Kikyo? And then Moroha's like, Grandma's big sister, a priestess who used to date my dad before he met my mom. It was so freaking funny. So funny. It's so funny. This had me freaking dying. And then Moroha says she pinned him to a tree with her arrow before he died. Later, she was revived and forced to fight him. A lot of stuff happened, but in the end, she died peacefully in my dad's arms. And Towa's like, his ex did that? Towa's like, his ex did that? That's a bad breakup. That's so tragic. Also, I'm gonna need the deets on the stuff that happened. Like, in between, you know? God, and I'm like, bruh, girly. So I'm like, girly, just watch the freaking Inuyasha show, girl. It's on DVD.
Oh my god, it's like, that reminds me of the whole meme of getting Boruto to watch all of the Naruto series.
Naruto series, yeah. I think it's like that. It's genius.
It's so funny.
Cause I think in the anime, YASHAHIME anime, I don't think they even like really did a big background on Kikyo. They're kind of like, when they were like traveling back through the tree, in the anime, and they encountered Kikyo, they're like, who are you? And they're like, how do you know our names? Right? Like none of them really got a background on Kikyo at all. They're kind of just like, okay, well, this is the Tree of Ages, right? They don't even know who she is. But I think it's also interesting that the apparition encountered Kaede first to tell her, like, you know, this is like the first part of the prophecy, man. So yeah. So basically Setsuna is saying how so the prophecy came true because Towa did return 10 years later, just as the tree predicted. So it's safe to assume the tree is on our side, right? And it's up to the three of us to save our parents. So at this point, we already have a mission, right? I feel like in the anime, it was so unclear what the mission was, because like in the beginning, like the first, like, I guess half of the first season, not even half of the first season, first like maybe 10-ish episodes of the first season, it was focused on getting Setsuna's memories back, and then like they would touch on like the parents a little bit, and like, but they also didn't really care about the parents, so it was like, yeah, so it's like we didn't really know what the freaking goal was. And then like they were trying to find Setsuna's memories, but then they got sidetracked a lot and stuff like that, and I was like, what the heck. But at this point they're already like, okay, so our mission is, it's up to the three of us to save our parents, right? That's the mission, right? So then at this point, a demon is attacking the village. Like, they just like sense something approaching, and then they're like, oh my god, it's a demon coming. And they're like, yo, Towa, stay here. You're kind of just gonna, like, you know, kind of weak right now. Gotta do a little training first, but like me and Setsuna, Moroha and Setsuna are gonna like handle it. So basically, oh, I didn't even realize. This is well, okay, I'll just show this panel, but this comes in after. I was so confused. It's just like a little hint of what will happen later. Anyways, so basically Moroha and Setsuna like left Kaede's place to find the demons, and basically they have like a little small talk. They're like basically Setsuna's being really really grouchy and stuff like that. And she's like, and then Moroha's like, oh, are you being grouchy because, and then Setsuna's like, don't say it. And then Setsuna says, it's good to have my sister back. And she's like, logically, I know that. But, you know, because of my curse, I'm not capable of joy, basically. So basically, Setsuna's unable to have, like, hope dreams. They're just drawn out of her and carried off away. Only negative emotions remain in her heart, right? So again, to compare it to the anime, like, in the anime, her curse was she was not able to have dreams and sleep, right? But then in this, she's just like not capable of having like of being happy. She can't be happy, right? So like what do you so those are pretty different, right? Mm-hmm. And then Setsuna apologized. She says, since I was cursed, I've only been able to feel anger towards you, Moroha. I'm sorry. And then Moroha's like, I'm used to it. Even before the curse, you were always mad at me all the time and stuff like that. I'm like, lol. Yeah. And then Setsuna's like, because that's because you're such a pain. And then Moroha's like, knock it off. So basically, yeah, so like which curse do you like better? Which curse do you think suits the story better? Like Setsuna not having dreams and not being able to sleep, or like Setsuna not being capable of like joy and happiness?
Setsuna not being able to find joy and happiness.
Yeah, because I feel like I do get that Setsuna has a hard time, like in the anime, like she has a hard time not sleeping. Like she probably just doesn't feel normal. Like she can't sleep. She has to like spend a lot of nights alone and stuff like that. And like she can't have any dreams and stuff like that. And I think that does suck. But at the end of the day, like sometimes like I wish I don't have sleep because or need sleep so I can just get a lot of stuff done. You know, but like I think at the end of the day, if you're not able to feel happiness, that's just like, that's really freaking sad. That's really sad. That's really freaking sad. I think that's like a kind of a really harsh penalty that she has to experience. So yeah. And then Moroha like changes the subject. She's like, yo, like did you notice I came through the time tree tunnel a little like later than you? And she said, because I spent a little bit of time on the other side. And then she has like the little like, you know, like the reunion with like the Higurashis. Like she talks about it more. Yeah, she talks about it more. So basically, Grandma Higurashi goes to Setsuna. Grandma Higurashi goes to Moroha and like hugs her and stuff like that, and is like, is it true? Like, is it true you're Kagome Inuyasha's mom? Not mom. Sorry, you're Kagome Inuyasha's daughter. And she's like, what's your name? And she's like, it's Moroha. And then she's like, it's Moroha, I'm so happy to meet you, Moroha. And she's like, whoa, like, this is, like, weird, you know? So, like, this is, like, the reunion, like, we wanted, you know? Like, her freaking out, like, oh my god, I've never, like, this is my first time meeting you, like, and stuff like that, right? So, and then, like, Grandma's like, oh, you're so big and strong, and stuff like that. And then Moroha's like, oh, she smells familiar, this scent, it brings happy memories. Because, like, I guess she smells like Kagome, and like she has like a little flashback of her baby Moroha and like mom Kagome and stuff like that. Oh my god. And then Mei is like, whoa, you're Aunt Kagome's daughter. And then they're like, Grandma, you got another granddaughter. And they're like, wow. And then you know, the moment of freaking truth, Grandma Higurashi's like, yo, so like, oh no, sorry, what's her name? Moroha's like, oh, is this where my mom grew up? where is she? Like, is she here? Like, is my mom here? And then Grandma Higurashi's like, so Kagome's not with you?
Oh no!
Kagome's not with you? Right? And then Moroha's like, no, my parents have been away so long, I don't remember them. So then my heart breaks into a million pieces. I was like, okay, so like, you know,
panicking. Probably panicking.
Yeah, so it's like, you know, they like the girls spent some time with their mother and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, at least they spent a little bit of time. But then Moroha straight up like, yo, I can't remember them. So it's like my heart cracks into a billion pieces again. This is like the freaking anime again, but it's like at least, oh, you know, at least it's a little bit better. It's a better story. It's better written. And then Grandma Higurashi like freaks freaking out. She's just like, what? She's like, what do you mean? Tell me more. Like, what's become of Kagome? Like, where is she? And then Sota's like, please, mother, we have to think of Towa now. And then the mother's like, of course. So like, is Towa's okay? And then basically Moroha's like, I don't think that Centipede could take her, but it's just like she isn't an experienced warrior. And stuff like that. So basically she's saying like she should go now because like the Tree of Ages is basically waiting for her to pass through. Basically. And then Sota's like, the Tree of Ages, you mean our shrine's sacred tree? Right? And then it flashes to the Tree of Ages, the freaking Kikyo pops up and she's like, yo, let's get going, girly. I got a schedule of saving the world right now.
Schedule.
Yeah, and then Grandpa Higurashi's like, a miracle, it's the spirit of the tree. And then Sota's like, a portal's forming a portal, and he's like, does that passageway lead to Inuyasha Kagome and stuff like that? And like he's like inching towards the portal to go through, right?
Wait, Grandpa Higurashi?
No, Sota's like, does this yeah, he's like, does this, yeah, he's like freaking out, like, oh my god, this passage does it lead to Inuyasha and Kagome? And then as he's like reaching for the portal, Mei and Moe stop Sota. They're like, wait, the honey, like they're like, dad, right? So and then
my heart.
and then like it shows like Sota like, you know, like doing like the fist, like as he was reaching, he's like, no, I can't go, you know. He's like, no, I'm not that reckless kid from back then, basically. He's like, Moroha, is it? Please go and help Towa. Protect her and return with everyone. You, Towa, and my sister.
Oh my gosh! Because he really wants to see her again.
Yeah, so...
He never had a proper goodbye.
Right? So this is like where he's like, you know, he's like, this is my chance. But then he realized, like, you know, like, I can't, like, I have responsibilities here. I have a family now, like, so then he like entrusts the mission, like the side quest to Moroha, like, come back, like, you, Towa, and my sister, come back here, like, when you're done, you know, your mission, or whatever you have to do. And then Moroha's like, leave it to me, see ya. And then he's like, before you leave, just 5 more minutes, let me give you some supplies. Mom, make sure she doesn't take off, like, they take off yet. And then they're basically like making like the little like getting her like the supplies and stuff like that. So and it's really funny because like you can see Kikyo here, she's like getting impatient. Like, there's like a little like cute Kikyo here, she's like getting impatient that she's taking so long and stuff like that. And I think it's really freaking like, oh, see, like there's so much more depth to like Kaede's character, to Sota's character, you know, like they're like how they feel, right? And I think that's,
like they're
they did
actual
so well.
Characters with feeling.
Yeah, you know, like
that express their
and like,
emotion.
you know, and like Kaede's trauma of being left, and then Sota's trauma of being left as well, right? So it's like all that, and then and basically Moroha's like, I think Towa, you know, like they're a nice family, right? Like she grew up with good people. That makes sense. And then Setsuna's like, I see. So she hasn't had to struggle. And then Moroha's like, nope. The thing is, I don't really agree with that because obviously Towa did struggle. like she never fit in anywhere, like at school and stuff like that. And I
It was
know it's
always
like
different.
I know it's like it's hard. Like their struggles are both very different. They were both like all three of them were bullied and stuff like that. And like had to like go through their struggles of like being different. I think the only difference is like Towa, like, you know, grew up not like rich or anything, but like with whatever she needed. Like she got whatever she needed, like she needed basically to live. While I think the twins kind of had to work to get money and help out Kaede and stuff like that. But you know, that's normal for feudal era stuff if you're not like a freaking queen or king, like if you're not a high position. But I don't really agree with how they say she hasn't had to struggle, because that's definitely not true. Towa definitely did
However,
struggle.
it does make sense for her to feel that way because she won't be able to understand Towa at all.
Yeah, both of them, right? I guess so. That's true. But at the same time, but yeah, like, yeah, I don't know. Everyone just has their own struggle and stuff like that, and I guess like they don't really understand. But hopefully they get, like, I hope, eventually, like later on in the story, I hope Towa gets to explain the stuff that she had to go through too, and they can like kind of like talk about all of their struggles and like the stuff that they went through, growing up and stuff like that. So just to better like understand each other and stuff like that. So yeah. So basically, Towa and Setsuna, not Towa, Setsuna and Moroha like fight the guys that are like in there, and yeah. And basically, it's like the undead people, like they're like zombies being possessed, basically. And it's like, you know, remember the crow demon? And I think it's really cool that they had the crow demon. Like they had like the Mistress Centipede and then the crow demon pop up too.
Was the centipede like the child of the original?
The child of the original?
In the anime?
I think in the
How they said it to
anime, it's like the granddaughter of the original centipede, because it's like 3 eyes.
Yeah.
Mistress 3 eyes or something like that. Something like that, yeah. But yeah.
So is it the same in the manga?
Is it the same in the manga? What
Mm-hmm.
do you mean it's the same? Oh no, I don't know. They didn't really talk about it. It was more like extra info that they said on like Twitter.
I see.
But it was not really like mentioned in the thing. But like yeah, in the manga it was like 3 eyes versus just 2. If that makes sense. So it's like the same thing. So yeah, so basically, yeah, Moroha and Setsuna like just fight the freaking possessed corpses with the crow demons. And then basically we cut to Towa and Kaede talking, and basically Towa's like, yo, I'm just gonna get in the way, right? And then Kaede's like, yo, like don't take it personally, because it's like Setsuna means well. She's just like looking out for you, because you know, like, you're a modern era girl, you're not really experienced here. This is your first like hour here. Like we're already getting attacked. You didn't really get trained to like, or like, you know, like you didn't get a chance to like sink in what like the era or whatever, right? Like our location, what's going on, if that makes sense. Bro, I'm like sweating. It's so freaking hot. Anyways, so yeah, Towa's like, so I was supposed to grow up with them, so how did I wind up like in the modern era, right? Let me drink some water real quick. My throat is itchy. I hope you guys are enjoying this so far. I think it's fun to fangirl. It's like actually really fun. My stream is effing. Sorry. Okay, so basically, after that, so yeah, basically, so Towa's kind of like, yo, I'm just gonna get in the way, right? That's why they're just like, you can't come with me, like, come with us. And then Kaede is like, again, she's like, don't take it personally. Setsuna means well. She's just worried for your safety. And then Towa's trying to like get more like information. She's like, oh, I was trying to grow up with I was supposed to grow up with them, so like how did I wind up in the future? So there's like more backstory that we freaking deserved. So basically Kaede explains, you know how like in the prophecy that Kikyo said, she was like, oh, like into soon like you have to take care of the two kids, right? So basically Setsuna and Moroha like appeared in like a broken carriage, like the carriage that they like flew away in when in Yukag the girls and oh my god, in Yukag the girls and Rin
like left
had to like leave in. Yeah, it's the same carriage. Basically, like it like fell from the sky and it was like,
whoa,
it was like destroyed. It was like on fire, like and stuff like that. Okay, not on fire, but like it was like smoking and shit.
I'm like,
it's not on fire, but like, it was on fire. If that makes sense, it was on fire. Like there's no fire anymore. It's just like
burnt.
It's burnt. Yeah, it's burnt. So basically, as the Tree of Ages predicted, a few days later, Setsuna and Moroha returned to me. And then they found that the carriage, and then the girls laid inside. So Moroha and Setsuna laid inside, like as 3-year-olds. Like they were 3 years old at this point, right? They're like knocked out inside of the carriage. The carriage was badly damaged and streaked with burn marks, right? So it appears as if they had escaped a fierce battle. Could it be that demons like humans are warring amongst themselves? Right? So basically, Kaede just kind of theorized like, oh, it looks like they like escaped, right? Like a battle, you know, because like their carriage was like freaking burnt. So Moroku and Sango appear. So yeah. So basically, So basically, at this point, Moroku and Sango are like, asking the girls, you know, questions. They're like, where were you? And then Setsuna's like as 3-year-olds, like you don't really get what's freaking happening, I guess you could say. So Setsuna's like, a house. And then Moroha's like, there was a big pond in the backyard and I got in trouble for climbing a tree. That's like, it's like they're like eating snacks and they're like trying to tell them, like, answer their questions, right? And it's Moroku and Sango, and they're like, oh, sounds like a large estate of some kind. So it would seem. So they're probably like worried sick as well because it's been 3 years, right?
Yeah.
And then question 2, who was with you? So they described the people that was like with them at the time of like when they like escaped or whatever. And then Moroha said there was a lot of moms, but none of them are real moms. And then Setsuna said they had the Unmothers. Or we had the Unmothers and Mr. Shappy, whoever Mr. Shappy is, right? So basically, and then they ask, your mothers are Kagome and Rin, right? And they're like, yeah. Were they with you? No, they weren't around. And then they're like, none of this makes any sense, you know? So basically, from what I can guess, happened was Kagome and Rin had to like leave or something, and they just had like the Unmothers to take care of them while they were gone, and then somehow like they got attacked while they were not home, if that makes sense, you know?
That's so strange though. Why would they get the Unmothers to take care of them? Because the Unmothers are freaky. They're dangerous.
No, they're not dangerous in like as per se. It's just that in the original Inuyasha, the Unmother just got commissioned to do something to Inuyasha. But like, in general, they're just like made out of like, regretful souls, like lost souls from war, like mother souls. If that makes sense. So like when I watched the original Inuyasha, like I felt really like sad for the Unmother. Like I felt really sad for the Unmother, even though it was kind of weird, and like yeah, she was kind of like absorb his soul or whatever.
Yep.
I feel you kind of feel bad for her. She's like, oh my boy, like she like saved him at the end of the day, you know. So yeah, so like so after like Moroku and Sango were like asking questions, Moroha's like, yo, can I play with Hisui and Kingyo and the others? Like,
Aww.
I know, it's so freaking cute. But then Moroku's like, one more thing. and then they're like, why isn't Towa with you? Where did she go? Right? And then Moroha and like Setsuna like start freaking out. Like Setsuna starts freaking bawling her eyes out, and she's like, Towa is, and then she starts crying, right?
Oh,
like they don't like they're like, as 3-year-olds, like you don't really know like what's happening. You kind of just like are there, if that makes sense. So like she just like, I think she just started crying because like she's not with them anymore, you know. Puppy. And then Moroku's like, oh, what happened? Like stop crying, you know, like, oh, because like they just start crying. And then basically it's so funny because Sango's like, I promise I'll punch the bad man for you, and then she like slaps it's so freaking funny. But yeah, and then Kaede like basically like helps calm them down and stuff like that, gives them a hug and stuff. It's so freaking cute. So freaking cute. And then like Moroku, like they like, apologize. They're like, oh, I'm sorry, I know it's hard to talk about. And then they kind of like stop questioning them because like that's like the most they can remember. They're like, guess that's all. Yeah, guess that's all. Too. Yeah, guess that's all we'll be able to remember to get out of them for now, at least. Maybe they'll remember more later. And then they just kind of hope like Inuyasha and Kagome are alright, basically. And then yeah, so like over time they like continued to question them, but like over time obviously their memories started like fading away, right? They're like, oh, it was like a big mansion, I climbed trees, I think. And then Setsuna was like, I think there was a lot of like maternal figures around, but they weren't exactly real, you know. So it's like it's stuff like that. So yeah, so like obviously like over time like their memories just like disappeared. And for like Towa's perspective, basically she doesn't remember anything of like what happened then. She only knows of what Sota told her happened that day. She was discovered, and basically she was just like in shock of what happened, basically. And like no one could ever get any like details of her, but she just doesn't remember anymore. But then she kind of remember, like, because like there's like a little bit of clues, like the mansion, like a little pond and stuff like that. Towa's kind of like a mansion though. That sounds really familiar, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then she has like a vision of like a mansion like in flames and like a hand, right? So it's like a little bit of memories are like starting to come back, right? So yeah, she starts remembering something, but then they get interrupted because like more like zombie boys come in, and they're like, oh my god. And then Miyoko's like, yo, what the heck, man, like be careful, those are the dead people coming through. So while Moroha and like Setsuna are like fighting the other people, they kind of I guess like they figure out that it was like a decoy to get them separated, if that makes sense. So because yeah, so basically like the target is like Towa at that point. And yeah, so Towa, you know, she's there trying her freaking best to fight off these demons and stuff like that. Kaede, poor Kaede, this girl like never catches a break. Look at this girl, never catches a break. And then yeah, and then they're trying to figure out like that someone is like basically controlling them, if that makes sense. And then as Towa like fights them, where is it? Sorry, I'm trying to recollect my freaking thoughts. I'm so hot right now. So basically they're trying to find the person behind like basically possessing the demons. And then Towa tries to lure the demon, the dead people away, but all of a sudden she's like oh, like there's a fire, right? There's a fire all around me, right? But like Kaede's like, oh, it's a trap, like there's no fire. But then like Towa keeps running around, like running away, and then she starts getting more like visions back. She's like, oh, I have a feeling that this happened to me before, like with the fire and everything, right? So then she starts having more of like a flashback of what happened. So she's like on the estate, you know, oh, that's right, and then basically the estate was on fire, they're being attacked, and then they were with like a bunch of like the Unmothers, right? So the Unmothers took the girls and they were like running away. She's like, what is it, Unmother? Where are we going? And then basically Rin, Unmother, was like, stay calm, Towa, the enemy has breached the barrier, we've been ordered to evacuate. And then they're like, look, Setsuna and Moroha are here with us, like there's nothing to fear and stuff like that. The little sleep paralysis demons are coming too. Super cute. There's like a little background in the interview about these little demons. Basically, Shiina says, it's in the back of the book, the interview, but basically Shiina says like the little sleep paralysis demons had like made no sense being there with the Unmothers, but he just enjoyed drawing them, so he just added them for fun. So yeah, I was like, that's funny. So yeah, so basically they're like running away, they're trying to like tell the girls like, you know, it's okay, like we have to evacuate because we're being attacked, right? And then all of a sudden like there's like demons attacking, and then one of them got the Unmother that was carrying Towa, and like it's so scary to see like Rin's head beheaded, like oh my god, Rin's headless, man. Whoa. Rin's headless. So a demon like gets the Unmother that was carrying Towa, and then Towa freaks out, and then the Unmother that was carrying Setsuna grabs onto Towa, and they're like running basically. They're running away, and then this really old man comes in all of a sudden and like basically saves them from the demon that was attacking them, and they're like, Master Chaperone. And then he's like, yeah, like this old man is like, good work, Unmothers, hurry, take them to the ox cart, protect them at all costs, basically, right? So he's there like defending them, and then all of a sudden it's Kantan and Homura. So basically Kantan is one of the 5 perils, and Homura is the guy that like set the whole forest ablaze in the show. So like they were the ones that were present, they were the ones that were attacking them and stuff like that, right? So the girls are running away, and then Kantan, by the way, Kantan looking kind of spicy or whatever, like what the heck? Look at this man. So yeah, so basically they're running away, and then Kantan is like, the children must perish here as Master Zero commands, right? And then
Master Zero.
Yeah, and then the chaperone guy is like, okay, I'll handle these 2. The rest of you go. And they're like, yes, Master Chaperone. So basically, it reveals that the chaperone guy was just Jockin in disguise, and it's so epic how he transforms. It's so epic. I like how he transforms because he's just like, okay, here. It was like, he's like, so basically Jockin's like, like in his old man form, he's like, I'll handle these 2. The rest of you go. And then the girls, the Unmothers are like, yes, Master Chaperone. And then they're like, Kantan was like, you're Sesshomaru's lapdogs, aren't you? And he's like, why should we fear you, right? And then Jockin's like, that's true, I'm a lapdog, but you see. And then like he like does like this hand motion to like reveal himself, and it looks all epic and shit. And he's like, it takes a powerful master to keep me as a pet, the likes of me as a pet. And I'm like, what the? And he's like, and don't you forget it. And then like he like transforms. I love this scene. Like I could see it in like I could see it animated, and it looks so freaking sick. And it's so cool.
Someone had a question.
Oh, what's the question?
Jesse saying, wait, so Moroha and Setsuna were newborns when they left, and 3 years later they left in the carriage without Kagome and Rin?
Yeah, so basically, I think it was like, I don't think it was like newborn, maybe like a little bit, like a little bit of time passed by, but yeah, that like they were basically babies when they left, and then 3 years later is when they returned, but yeah, without Kagome and Rin. So yeah, basically you're right. Basically. So yeah, and then Jokin was like left to fight freaking Kantan and Homura, which is like, Jokin, man, don't freaking die on me, please, you know. Yeah, so he defends them, and then Towa and Towa and Setsuna are running, and then the Unmother's like, yo, don't just run, don't look back. And then Towa's like, Mr. Shappy? I think they call him Mr. Shappy, which is so funny. Jokin. They call Jokin? Yeah, they call Jokin Mr. Shappy. He's a chaperone.
Mr.
But like,
Shappy.
yeah, because they probably couldn't say chaperone, so they say Shappy, Mr. Shappy.
Oh, that's so cute.
I think it's so freaking cute. That's so freaking cute. And then basically what's her name? Setsuna and Towa are holding hands, like as they're running with the Unmother. And then freaking Towa drops her beanbag. She drops her beanbag, and then she lets go of Setsuna while they're running. And then as she tries to pick up the beanbag, a demon comes, right? A demon comes to attack Towa, right? But then the Unmother is like, oh no. And then she's like, take him to the ox cart, right? So Kagome Unmother like takes Setsuna and Moroha to the ox cart, and then Rin Unmother defends Towa from the freaking demon that's gonna attack her, right?
Yeah.
So freaking Unmother Rin takes out a knife, starts stabbing all these freaking demons, like super sick, right? Yeah.
Oh wait, I have a question.
Yeah?
Where's Moroha in all of this?
She was there with one of the Unmothers, basically. She was just there. Like there was nothing really happening with her though. She was running.
To get away.
She was running too.
Okay.
They were all together running.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Towa's like apologizing. She's like, oh, Unmother, I'm sorry, like, you know, that she let go of Setsuna. And then the Unmother's like, oh, it's alright, like, just keep your eyes closed as she's stabbing these demons, like, you know? And then all of a sudden, Kikyo appears, and she's like, the child may pass this way. She'll be safe on the other side of the bridge of time, basically, right? And then Rin Unmother's like, who are you? And then she's like, and Kikyo's like, you must trust me, hurry, right? So I think it's like, you know, the mother's instinct at that point. It's like, okay, like this is my only chance, right? So then Rin Unmother just yoinks her through the freaking time tree tunnel, and then that's where Towa just ends up, right?
Wait, I wonder why she chose Towa.
She chose Towa?
Yeah.
Because okay, so basically, remember how I said Towa let go of Setsuna's hand?
Yeah.
Because she dropped her freaking beanbag.
Yeah.
So, because Kagome Unmother, Rin Unmother, and then Moroha and Setsuna kept running, Rin Unmother noticed that Towa was behind. So she let go. She gave Setsuna to Kagome Unmother and grabbed Towa, right? So they were separated basically.
Yeah.
So she's like, okay, take them to the ox cart, and then because they were getting like surrounded by demons, that's when Kikyo appeared in one of the sacred trees and
I see.
Basically saved Towa, basically.
I see. Okay.
You know?
Gotcha.
So then that's basically how Towa ended up at the other side. So yeah. So do you remember the owl boy?
Yes.
From the original? So that's the guy who was possessing the demons in like the current time, I guess you could say, to separate them, and then is trying to attack Towa and stuff like that. So yeah, so basically he's saying so he's trying to get Towa alone because Towa is like not as strong as like Moroha and Setsuna, right? So then he was like, oh, he's like, now girl, give me the rainbow pearl and I'll make your death a quick one. And she's like, what are you talking about? And he's like, don't play dumb. Or are you genuinely so? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm gonna like get the pearl and stuff like that, right? So I think this is really cool because it kind of paralleled how Kagome didn't know she had the sacred jewel in her body, and then like the freaking centipede and everyone's like, yo, like give me the sacred jewel, and she's like, I don't have the sacred jewel. What do you mean? Like that mythical object? And then yeah, it's like the same thing basically. So the pearls are again a thing in this manga too, in the story. So yeah. So and then as because
present day.
Yeah, so basically Owl Boy is like gonna steal the freaking pearl from Towa, You know who saves her? You know who saves Towa?
Hisui?
No. Hisui and Kohaku aren't in it yet.
Sango and Moroku.
No.
Shippo.
No.
Draken.
No. It was the Unmother that saved Towa. She waited 10 years to save her. Remember earlier how I was like, oh, this makes so much sense. Like this scene, right? It was the Unmother. The Unmother just appeared. She's like, oh, this is where you are, Towa, right? She was looking for her.
Waiting. She was looking for her for 10 years.
Yeah, she looked for her.
Unmother.
The Unmother.
Unmother Rin?
Yeah, Unmother Rin.
Oh,
Looked
but,
for.
but why did she ask Unmother Kagome?
Huh?
Wasn't Unmother Kagome with Towa?
No. Okay. So, Unmother Rin was
Yes.
holding Setsuna and Towa, right? Unmother
Yes.
Kagome was holding onto Moroha. They were
Yes.
all escaping, but
Yes.
then Towa dropped her beanbag and
Yes.
separated from Setsuna. But Kagome, Moroha, Rin and Setsuna kept running. But then Rin noticed Setsuna was lagging. Rin noticed that Towa was lagging behind and was like telling Kagome, "Okay, take these two and take them to the cart." Right? So Rin went back to save Towa basically, while Kagome took the other two to the cart. So they were separated. So the whole time, the person that was with Towa the whole time was Unmother Rin.
Unmother Rin. Okay.
Right? And then she yoinked her through the portal. And I guess she survived. She probably like ran away after, you know? But like 10 years later, she saved Towa from, you know, the owl boy. So like, and then she was like, get away from Towa, you fiend. And she's like, Unmother, how did you find us? And then she's like, don't touch my child, and stuff like that, you know. And so like it really paralleled like the Unmother episode from the original Inuyasha, which is really cool, I think, because what I liked about like how they depicted the Unmother in this one, because like like I said earlier, I felt really bad for the Unmother in the original Inuyasha series, like at the end, because I was like, oh, like she's sad souls, you know, like I feel bad, right? And I think it's really cool how they depicted the Unmother, I guess demon differently in this story, how it was someone that like saved Towa, right? And at the end of the day, in the original Inuyasha series as well, Izayoi, Unmother, saved Inuyasha as well from whoever was attacking him at that time. I don't remember. But yeah. And then Owl Boy attacks Unmother, and then you know when like anime pro tags, when like someone you care about is like getting hurt, and then all of a sudden you have like hella power. So that's basically what happened with Towa. She gains like this like immense power. She's like, curse you, your master took everything from us, I'm gonna make you pay. She's like really like angry basically, and kills Owl Boy, blah blah blah. And then like she starts like attacking the other possessed human crow people. And then Setsuna and Moroha run back to Kaede's hut, and they're like, oh my god, like that demonic power, is it Towa? And then Moroha's like, no, it's too strong, she could barely summon any energy to defend herself before, you know. But like, you know, it was Towa, like she was like angry, she's like, how dare you, you know, like, and stuff like that. And there's this really cool frame or like panel of Towa fighting the rest of the demons and stuff like that, and then with his last breath, I guess you could say, he was like, gasp, it's Lord Sesshomaru, you know, because he kind of looks like him here, which is really cool. He kind of looks like him here. And like, no, of course it's not possible, stuff like that. And I think it's like it's cool. It was really cool. It kind of reminds me of Mao, how the cat in Mao looks like. That makes sense. It's really random, sorry. So anyways, so the girls, oh wait, no, freaking The owl boy actually got away. Surprisingly.
Wait, he
got
never
away.
died?
No, he didn't. Sorry. My bad.
Oh.
He didn't die. He got away. He's like, I shall return. He ran away. He banned the
I shall
mission.
return.
Yeah. So then Towa's like basically hugging the this one is so freaking sad. She's hugging the Unmother and stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh.
And then the girls meet up with her and they're like, is that an Unmother? And then Towa's like, she was like a mother to us, a sort of demon nanny. Right? And then they're like, she's like, a bunch of them took care of us when we were little. And then the Unmother, you know what the Unmother does? You know what the Unmother does?
What? Hugs her?
No. The Unmother gives Towa the beanbag she dropped.
Oh!
So
She kept
sad!
her all this time!
She did!
And was looking for her for 10 years! And she was able to save her!
Yeah, so sad. And then she was like, we're so glad you're safe. And then she like, I like how she said we're, like, it's like all the Unmothers are glad that you're safe. And then she like disintegrated into the air.
Oh.
And then Towa's like crying, you know, like I think I like how they kept, you know, Towa's kind of like feels for other people and like her emotions. I'm happy they kept that much because like she is so badass, but like I'm glad they kept her softness because again, that's how like Rin was, I guess you could say.
And it contrasts with Setsuna's personality due to the
curse.
Curse.
It's kind of like Setsuna, no, Towa's crying for Setsuna or whatever. But yeah, she said, I think when I went through the portal, it meant her duty. It meant her oh my god, English. I think when I went through the portal, it meant her duty was left unfinished. She's been searching for me all these years, basically. And then Setsuna's like, I see our old childhood memories are starting to make sense. So, and then Moroha's like, so who's Mr. Shappy? And then they're like, probably a friend of like our parents, stuff like that.
Shocking!
Yeah, so like, and then, you know, Towa, again, she's like, oh, it's all my fault, you know. But if you think about it, she was a kid, right? Like, if you're, honestly, like, if your freaking favorite toy fell on the ground while you're running away, like, obviously you would, like, go back and get it. Like, I would have done that.
Yeah.
She was a kid. Like, I don't blame her for it at all. But yeah. And then Moroha's like encouraging Setsuna to like basically console Towa because she's like upset and stuff like that and sad and grieving and stuff like that. And then she's like and then Towa's like, I grieve for the Unmother, and then Setsuna's like, but we're alive and we're back together again. I think I must be happy.
Oh.
So she's like, Setsuna's like guessing that she's feeling like, oh, like maybe I'm happy at this moment. Like maybe I should be feeling happy. But like to feel sadness only, sadness and anger is so sad. So freaking sad.
It's hard. It's not. It's.
What?
It's hard.
Yeah, it's
How can you
hard.
live like that?
And yeah, and I think Towa's kind of like no one told Towa about Setsuna's curse, but she's kind of getting the feels of, you know, maybe there's something different about Setsuna, right? And then Kikyo appears. Kikyo.
Again.
Yeah, she's like, go west, princess of Yasha, to the end of the land of the rising sun. You will find your past and future, where the origin of the rift in time lies. If the rift is not contained, it will destroy the world. And then there's like a picture of Kirinmaru and Zero, like, but like shaded, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And like, when all is in its rightful place again, you and your parents will return to where you belong and regain what you have lost. Please save the world, my beloved children of Yasha. And then every time like Kikyo kind of like Girl sounds like a fortune cookie, right? Every time, like, what page are we on? We're on page 178. So basically, at this point, like, this is like the prophecy, like part 2. So it's like, you know, in the original series, the prophecy was like when, like, it was so freaking confusing for no reason. It was like when Kininmaru emerges and Sesshomaru emerges, and like you have to defeat both of them, and if you defeat one, you have to defeat the other, and blah 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 blah, and like life will the dinner age will like cease to exist, and blah blah blah, stuff like that, right? It was so confusing because like it kind of leaves you like, what even is the goal? Like, what are they supposed to do, right? Are they supposed to kill Sesshomaru? They're supposed to kill Kininmaru? Like, they're not even strong enough to. So like, what the heck? But basically, the goal is just to basically just to keep the rift in order and protect it. Basically just to protect the time, what is it, the time thingy, time portal thingy in yeah, it's basically the portal in Inukimi's home or whatever that they went through. It's just basically to keep the rift in order and protect it, basically, which, you know, obviously would probably mean they're gonna have to defeat the people that are out to get it, right? So like Zero, Kinemino, but like I think Kikyo is a little really vague here as well. But you know, it is what it is. She says yeah, so basically like just keep the rift in order and protect it from, you know, bad guys, and like you will return, right? No, and then like your parents will return, and like you will return to like regain what you lost and like where you belong, right? And then Chikyo like disappears or whatever. And then Moroha here is so freaking funny because she says, because like they're like, oh, like hold on, like wait a second, like we have questions, like, and stuff like that, right, for Chikyo, but like she already left after like 2 freaking lines, right? And then Moroha's like, she always disappears the second she's finished with one of her speeches. If she's gonna ask us to do stuff, she should at least leave us money and directions. You know, like I've been saying, like I remember in like the original show, like I was like, yo, like Chikyo's been asking way too much, like for like nothing, for literally nothing in return, right? But like I mean, like at least here it's like there's a reason why they want to go, right? So here Setsuna's like, we have no choice. The fate of the world is at stake. We owe our lives to our parents and the Tree of Ages. We must do as she requests, right? Whereas in the anime, it was kind of like, there straight up was no reason for them, like other than like to believe the Tree of Ages, right? Like there was no trust between the girls and the Tree of Ages. She just appears and was like, y'all gotta do this stuff, right? But like in this manga, it's different because the Tree of Ages is like literally saved the lives. She says we owe our lives to our parents and the Tree of Ages, because you know the Tree of Ages like literally looked out for the girls up until now, right? Saved Towa, sent Kaede to take care of Setsuna and Moroha and stuff like that, right? So it's like, hey, like you can trust me, but please like help me save the world, you know, in return of like, you know, your well-being and stuff like that, right? So then and then Moroha's like, it'll make grandma Kaede happy to see her moms again, and you're coming with us, right, Towa? I know our world must seem strange to you. And then Towa's like, of course I'm coming, I'm part of this family, I have to find my aunt Kagome and meet my parents, right? So again, it's like so they have like so much reasons to trust in the Tree of Ages, and it's like they want to see their parents, they want to see Kaede happy again, you know? Towa, hearing about like Inuyasha and Kagome her whole life, would want to see and like save them, so like, you know, Sota can like see Kagome again and stuff like that, right? So it's like, it's so nice to see them have like a reason to keep going, if that makes sense, you know? A reason to do what they want to do, because I feel like in the original anime, again, they had no reason to trust Chikyo, and that quest was like a side quest, because like the original reason why Towa went through the freaking portal was to get Setsuna's to get Setsuna's memories back, right? But then here it's just like they actually care, man. They actually care, and it's so nice to see. It's literally the bare minimum, but it's like I'm so happy to see this. And then Towa's like after you know, like saving the world and stuff like that, the Tree of Ages said will be where we belong, right? But then it kind of questions like, you know, where does Towa belong, right? Does she belong in Tokyo or in the feudal era? But like I feel like up until this point, since the beginning, there's a lot of points where they show that Towa doesn't belong in the modern era, and they also show like, you know, Towa doesn't really belong in the feudal era either. But like I feel like again, like in the anime, like Towa can just warm up to the freaking feudal era soon, like easily, right? So yeah, so it's like the next day they're chilling. Moroha's giving Kaede a back massage, and like how Towa was giving Grandpa a back massage earlier and stuff like that. And yeah, and then she's like basically saying your back massages are more effective than any medicine and stuff like that. And then Towa's like, oh, like I have like the same gift as like Moroha, like with stuff like that. And like Moroha explains that she has like demonic power and spiritual power. That's why she's like a healer basically, which is cool. And then after Moroha gives Kaede a massage, she's like, pay up, you know? And then Kaede's like, you're charging me? And then Moroha's like, nothing's free in this world, Granny. And then Kaede's like, greed isn't one of your finer qualities, Moroha. But honestly, like I think this is funny because in Filipino culture, it's like after you give a massage to someone, you have to give them money, so the person that's giving the massage doesn't get the same like aches and pains in their bodies, if that makes sense. So it's just like good for you. But yeah, I think that was funny. But like I think it's also funny, like I don't know, it's just like, you know, Moroha like didn't give up like that whole the whole you know, how she wants money stuff. I think again, like I like that she doesn't have debt to pay, because that was so shitty of like them to do. Like they literally like made Moroha pay a debt that she didn't like, you know, create for herself, if that makes sense. It was just like but I'm glad that they like took that out entirely in the manga, and they just made it like a funny like a gag personality thing with her, you know,
like she just wants money.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, as I said earlier, Setsuna and Moroha work a lot defeating demons to help like Granny Kaede for paying. So it's probably just like it's just a joke, you know. So Kaede gives her one mon or one mon. I don't know how to say it, mon. And then Moroha's like, that's it, you skinflint. What the frick? Yeah, and then Moroha's like, but money's money. And it's like, thanks, Grandma. And then Kaede is like, on the other hand, at times she can be rather charming. So cute. Aww. And then when they showed like the one mon, they have the Pio, like like little logo in the background, which is like you know, if you know like Rumiko Takahashi, she always has like the Pio, like the chick on like Kagome's like apron. They also have it in like Maison Ikoku like apron on the girl's apron, stuff like that. I think that's really cute that Shiina added that in the background there. That's really cute. So Setsuna's done cooking food and stuff like that. And basically Towa like adds like a little bit of flavor to the food, because Towa complained that like it was a little spicy, or not spicy, salty, and like flavorless basically. So basically she adds like little like something to it, and then Setsuna's like, what's that? And then she's like, Papa Sota included a lot of notes in the go bag of his, and she basically says like he wrote down tons of useful stuff. He's been studying the feudal era ever since he was a kid. So like I think it's cool that they're adding more to his character, like even like past stuff, right? And I think it was cute that like, you know, Towa is like helping out with like modern era like knowledge with the food and like just stuff in general, like how Kagome did as well. I think that's cute. So basically Sota, like back when he was a kid, back when Kagome was like going back and forth through the modern era and the feudal era, he would study up the on the feudal era. So he like wrote stuff down about like the food and stuff like that. So he's like, the food of feudal times was pretty tasteless by modern standards. From that, Big Sis told me it seems there wasn't much variety for flavor. So take miso for example. So yeah, stuff like that. He like did like a lot of research and stuff like that. I think it also explains how he had like, it's not just like he was filming Towa defeating the demons just like for Towa. I think it's also like because he's like a feudal era nerd at this point, if that makes sense. So yeah, and then there's also like Kagome here. She like would walk in on him like nerding out about like the feudal era and stuff like that. And then like there's like the little panda from Ranma here, like the little Easter egg, which I thought was really cute. But yeah, and I enjoyed the food and stuff like that. And then I think it was cute because like you would think like the scene would be kind of like random, right? But there's like the meaning behind it is like, oh, to Towa, like that dish that she created with Kaede is like how she feels about the past and the present. She feels like she belongs to both. Like as she's eating the food that like they cook together, it's like she's eating food from like both Papa Sota and Kaede, which is cute. It's like the food is like a little metaphor of like what Towa is. She's both a feudal era girl and a modern era girl. Like she feels like she belongs to both. After questioning like after Kikyo was like, oh, like after you defeat like do the mission, you will return to where you belong. And she's like, well, maybe I belong to both places, So yeah, so I'm kind of wondering, like, would Shiina open up the well or open up the time tree tunnel for them to travel back and forth now that like he kind of hinted that or foreshadowed that Sota and Kagome are going to reunite one day, right? So I think that's interesting.
Yeah.
I think that's really interesting. So after that meal, they basically go off and they're like, okay, bye Kaede, and then Kaede's like, take good care of each other, good luck and stuff like that.
You're leaving her. She's gonna be all alone again.
Yeah, and she's like,
oh, Kaede.
Yeah, and they're like, starting now, I'll do what I can for this home. And Towa's like, I'll find Aunt Kagome and Inuyasha and tell them how loved they are.
Oh,
I know, it's so freaking cute. Have our parents been thinking about us all this time too? Are they waiting for us to comfort them? And then they're like, this is the last frame, but their journey begins and everything, and it's so wholesome. So wholesome. It's so cute.
It's so good.
And then it's like, I can't wait to meet them. I can't wait to meet them and stuff like that. And they're like, yeah, let's go. Our journey begins and stuff like that. And then the last panel is actually of Sesshomaru talking to Rin in the sacred tree here. So he says our daughters are on the move. Oh, wait, no, he says Rin. Does he say Rin? Wait, let me go back. Frick. Yeah, he goes, Rin, our daughters are on the move. Time to see what a half demon can do. Boy, you've been seeing.
He believes he has faith.
Boy, you've been seeing what a half demon can do. Your brother. But he has faith in his daughters and everything, and yeah, I think that's really cute. I think that's really
the character
cute.
Development.
I love the manga.
That he believes
much.
in half demons now.
Yeah, but I love the manga. It still hurts me that the girls didn't grow up with their parents. Like, I think that's something that like will always hurt. But at the end of the day, I think it's just something that you kind of just get over. Like, especially knowing, like, following the original anime the whole time. Overall, this first volume was really freaking amazing. There was so much that like I wish we had in the anime that's like depicted. The writing is better, the backstory between like all the characters are so much better, the like, you know, internal monologues, like how characters feel. Like no one's like shy to communicate in this freaking story, versus in the anime, everyone, like, no one wants to talk to each other. Everyone's just like, you know, I'm just gonna keep this to myself, right? You know, like Kaede not freaking telling Kohaku that Setsuna is a half demon. Like, damn, for 6 months. Anyways, and like I also like how, you know, Rin and Kagome kind of spent some time at least with the girls, if that makes sense. At least 3 years. Like, at birth, that's so freaking sad. That's so sad. At birth, Stromer just yoinked them from Rin, like, huh? But I really do enjoy the story. Do you guys want me to read the interview at the end? I can just read it. I'm just hoping there's a better explanation for Inikag disappearance, Rin being a disco ball, and Stromer. Yeah. But yeah, I'm sure Shiina would be able to explain it better. But as what we know so far, like the story it's like pretty similar, like not structurally, but like I guess like the freaking, I don't know, the foundation of it is the same, but like the rest of like the structure is very, very different, which I love. So there's like a bonus interview. If you guys want me, I can probably just read it out loud, whatever, right? So this is an interview with a Shiina, Takahashi Shiina and Rumiko Takahashi. So basically the question is, you've mentioned before that when it was announced that YashaHime anime, oh well, this part was kind of I'll just skip this part. So, well, basically the first question is just basically like how Shiina started doing or adapting YashaHime. So basically Shiina was supposed to was asked to adapt a different Rumiko story actually, or another story that Rumiko Takahashi has character designed for. But he had to actually decline because he was working on something else. But then as he was doing Psychic Squad, yeah, and then Rumiko Takahashi actually was like really, really happy for Shiina to take on YASHAHIME manga. Was really happy for him to do it. So question, what were your thoughts after reading the first chapter of YashaHime? So this is Rumiko. It was so much fun. He highlights the characters so well. He uses Towa's signature glare to define her personality. Setsuna's glare is even fiercer, and the fiercest of all is their father Sesshomaru's glare, which is like really it was a nice touch to add, you know. What a great technique. Also, the slightly elongated way he draws Towa and Setsuna is just right. I thought to myself, that's exactly what Sesshomaru's daughters would look like. The reactions of the Higurashi family are well thought out too. Yeah, because it was lacking in the freaking anime, man. Of course, Shiina is a seasoned manga artist, so it's no surprise it was really fun to read. And then Shiina says, I'm kind of Takahashi's apprentice, though I did not study under her. Ha ha ha. So the next question is, I'm sure there was discussion about the art. Can you talk about how you view each other's approach to the manga? Shiina says, Takahashi's art is impossible to reproduce. You can come close, but it's still a copy and a fake. I was worried that the readers would get distracted by disconnect between our drawing styles and have trouble getting into the story. So I approached it as what would happen if a Takahashi character came into my world. For example, her version of Towa is cuter and feels younger. With my approach, Towa expresses emotion the most when her eyes are downcast. I added extra volume to her bangs so I could use them to hide her eyes. On the other hand, I want the characters to remain recognizable. I'm always trying to strike a balance, which is really nice. I honestly really love the art. It's really pretty. I love Rumiko's art as well, but it's really nice to see her characters in like a different style too. I really like the way Shiina colors and draws too. It was like it's really fun.
I think the most important is
what?
to just like be able to distinct who's who.
Yeah,
right?
I think that's like
it's
the
not
most part.
to be able to
important.
distinct. Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's really fun to see a different style too. And Rumiko says, I think it's better that Shiina is drawing it in his style. It enables me to come to it as a reader. The designs are similar, but definitely not clones. The glimpses of Inuyasha and Kagome in the past are drawn very well. I really like that Kagome picture. What? I really like the Kagome in the picture frame. She has a soft, grounded look. So there's this Kagome. Where's the link to buy the manga? I'm going to watch this video once I get my hands on it. YashaHime Book Club. I know, man. YashaHime Book Club. It's actually pinned. And thank you, Atsu, for sending a link. But yeah, you can get the manga there. There's like, you can get the physical versions, or you can get like the online versions if you want to discount, if that makes sense. Or if you prefer to read on your computer or on your phone. There's a Kindle version. That's what it's called, Kindle. But yeah.
Oh, there's Kindle version. That's cool.
Yeah, there is. So yeah, and then Rumiko's like, I enjoy following the manga as just a reader. I think it's really cute that Rumiko, I guess like she's not kind of like, this is my story, you know, like I think she puts like some guidelines around the story, you know, like some rules, I guess you could say. But I think overall she just wants to see like what other people can create of her characters and stuff like that after the story. And I think she just wants to enjoy it as like, you know, a reader as herself, which is really cute. So the next question is, when this project was announced, Takahashi was quoted as saying, I'm looking forward to the chilling beauty of Sesshomaru. Did you set any rules for Shiina when it came to drawing Inuyasha's brother? Right? And then Takahashi says, I think the only note I sent him was Sesshomaru never gets nervous flop sweat. So like, you know, like in anime or like in manga when they have like the little like sweat thingy to like exaggerate their emotions, if that makes sense. Rumiko said like never to draw Sesshomaru with that because he's an aloof, solitary character. I knew Shiina would be able to capture that, but manga artists have a tendency to draw panic and flop sweat to create drama. And then Shiina's like, yes, we do. And Rumiko's like, but that was about it. That's literally it. Like restrictions on Sesshomaru. I knew Sesshomaru. I knew Shina's drawings would be great. I made the chilling beauty comment knowing he'd understand what I meant. So the next question is, what did you think after seeing the finished art? Rumiko says, it was just as I expected Shina's work to be. It was good. Next question, Shiina, did you I feel like I'm saying his name wrong. Shiina. Isn't it Shiina? Frick, I'm so sorry.
How's it spelled?
Shiina. Shiina. Shiina.
Shiina.
I keep saying Shiina.
I-I-N-A?
Yeah, Shiina.
S-H-I...
Shiina. You right? No. Shiina.
Shiina. Yeah.
Yeah. Shiina. Oops, I've been saying it wrong this whole time. I'm so sorry. I'm like gonna pass out. It's so hot. We're almost done though. Shiina, how did you handle drawing Sesshomaru? I thought, and he says, I thought about how to direct the characters more than how to draw them. Sesshomaru doesn't open up much, but he has to share enough of himself for us to understand his perspective. He's facing his own challenges. His personal convictions and aesthetic are always in conflict with his reality. But would he talk about that with anyone? No. So the challenge is find ways for him to express himself through his actions. I think, yeah. I think Sesshomaru is like a really difficult character to kind of write because he's so like triple dot. Not that like he doesn't say words, it's just like he doesn't talk about his feelings much. And I'm happy that he has like lines in this because like in the original in the anime he just like would not say a word and just fly away, right? Then he was just like talking to Jockey and saying, oh, we're gonna buy them gifts and stuff like that. Not really exactly saying, oh, I'm so happy and stuff like that, but like, you know, like the little things. Next question, compared to characters you created in your original manga, is it harder to figure out how they would behave and what they would say? So Shiina says, absolutely. I tried to draw the three girls as if they're my own daughters and add a little bit of myself to them, which is so cute. Inuyasha and Kagome have open, light-hearted personalities, so it's easier to figure out what they say or do in a situation. With Sesshomaru, I can guess what he's feeling, but it's difficult to imagine how he would reveal that. He's a tough character to understand, which is true. I think Rumiko did a really good job with like Sesshomaru's character in the original, like in Inuyasha. I think like you kind of just have to assume with him, and stuff like that. Like you know how it's like it's always opposite day with Sesshomaru and stuff like that, which I think is like funny. So next question: what do you have to consider when adapting an anime to manga? Shiina says, I think it's fine for the adaptation to be different from the original. In fact, there are things that have to change. My intention is to keep the themes of the story in alignment with both the original work and my own perspective. I'm not trying to create a copy of Takahashi's work, but to build something new on the foundation she's created. I'm finding where her artistic sensibilities and mine intersect, or something like that. I look for a point in the story where the manga and anime can connect so they don't have to diverge too much. So I like how Shiina is like saying how he's not exactly gonna like, you know, copy and paste the anime how it was, but you know, make it different on just based off of the foundations of the original. So I think that's really cool, and I'm happy that he did that, because it's like if you're just gonna like, you know, copy and paste the story from the anime into the manga form, there's not really much point into a manga form. It's just a different type of media, if that makes sense. But it's nice that there's like a different story that we can kind of explore, like a different universe version of the story we can explore and enjoy, right? So yeah, I remember like there's like a lot of people that like, you know, like when the manga was announced, people were like really angry about it and stuff like that, saying like, oh, like my canon is like, you know, what's canon is the anime and stuff like that. But I honestly don't think it hurts, you know, to have another story like made professionally, if that makes sense, you know, like that, you know, Rumiko herself enjoys as well reading as a viewer, right, like as one of us, which I think is fun. So next question, what do you mean by artistic sensibilities? Shiina says, for example, before Takahashi became a professional manga artist, she absorbs the works of creators like Kazumasa Hirai, Daijiro Moroboshi, and Yasutaka Tsutsui. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm trying my best. I also love their work, so I think about how that commonality between us connects to YashaHime. When I'm reading her work, I try to imagine her intentions, which is nice. What do you focus on when you draw the monsters and demons? Shiina says, I'm a geeky guy, so I love to draw cool-looking monsters, but reading Inuyasha and Takahashi's other manga, I realize it's not all about the battles. She puts focus and weight on the emotional impression of the monster and the reactions of the character fighting it. Instead of anime style cool, her monsters have a raw feeling, like they've emerged from shadows of folklore. And I think I agree. I really love that about Rumiko's art as well, how like it looks like it's straight off from like, you know, like the folklore like thing. It's not like exaggerated to make them look animated or whatever. They look like really, like, if that makes sense, like, you know, in like the history books, if that makes sense. And then Rumiko says,
I appreciate how he kind of studies her work.
Like yeah, that. I mean, as he should though, right? Because I think he looks up to Rumiko a lot, right? He's she started working like 10 years before he did. So she's like, what is this, senpai? is that the right word? She's his senpai senior, right? So you know, like I think obviously Rumiko's so really like she's really, really, really famous for her works over the years, like Ranma, Maison Ikoku, and like Inuyasha and everything, right? So obviously, like if you're gonna adapt like her characters, you want to do it right? You want to do it right, especially if you're a fan. You want to do it right. So it's really nice to see that he put extra precautions into the research and all that stuff, right? And then Rumiko says, except my drawings aren't as scary. And then Shina's like, they are. Takahashi says, I just hope they're scary enough. I'm careful not to make them look silly, I guess. I do use the human characters' reactions to sell the idea of how terrifying they are. I also use darkness and effects to further build the scene, but I don't really think deeply about it as I'm drawing. It's just fun to draw monsters. So like it's nice to know like she just enjoys it, you know? That's why I really love reading Mao, which is like her current manga, Rumiko's current manga, Mao. I really love reading it. It reminds me of Inuyasha a lot. I love seeing like, you know, the demons and stuff like that again. It's really fun to see. And Shiina says, the other day when I was drawing the Unmothers, I also drew the little Shibari, which is like the, you know, like the little demons I was talking about earlier, the sleep paralysis demons.
The ones that he like didn't want to, like he didn't have to add, but
Yeah,
he did it
but he just did
because he enjoyed drawing it.
Yeah, so I drew the little Kanashibari demons said to cause sleep paralysis, which have appeared in Inuyasha. They're super fun to draw, and I love the stippling on their bodies, their big eyes, and their squiggly eyebrows. The way it's impossible to tell what they're thinking. They wear odd cloaks over their shoulders, and I kept thinking, why do these guys dress like that? And I wonder what they're thinking right now. It was exciting. Yeah. And then Rumiko's like, I agree. I like the smaller animal-like demons that look like they could be scuttling around in hell. They look creepy to look at, and I like their cute pot bellies. It's funny that they're both like fangirling over like demon-looking guys.
Yeah.
Like drawing demons. And then Shiina was like, yes, exactly. Maybe it didn't make sense to put them with the Unmothers, but they added visual appeal and an otherworldly atmosphere. Yeah, it makes sense too, because like you kind of want to remember, like when you're reading it, you kind of want to remember like the Unmothers aren't Kagome and Rin, right? It's like to have them there, on Rin's shoulder, to have them there kind of reminds you that, oh, like that's not really them. It's like they're kind of like they're like a fake version, if that makes sense, you know. Without like Shiina having to draw them without a face, if that makes sense. And I also like how Shiina drew the Unmothers because if you notice, like during the chapter, the Unmothers kind of look emotionless, if that makes sense. To remind us that that's not Kagome and Rin, right? So I like that a lot. But they added a visual appeal and an otherworldly atmosphere, so I felt like they needed to be there. In my imagination, Sesshomaru originally summoned them to defeat Inuyasha, but afterwards they continued to work for him, and they still take on special assignments. Ha ha ha. And that's why I drew them into the scene. Which is so cute! Isn't that cute?
So cute.
So like Shiina, like, you know, like what I love about artists like so much is like how they would just like add little things like that. Don't like, you know, like when you're reading, like you don't really think much of it, but like to Shiina it's like, oh, like this little detail, you know, I just added it for fun, but like the lore behind it would be like, oh, like Sesshomaru summoned them to defeat Inuyasha, but afterwards they continue to work for him and take on special assignments and stuff like that. So I think that's really cute, like just for fun, you know. I think that's cute. So next question. When it comes to character design, what's your approach? Shiina says, if I try to plan a character design in my head, I get confused. Like, I'll want a character to look flashy, but then start asking myself, why flashy? And then, and will that relate to their personality or be confusing? I approach character design from inside out, developing an appearance that suits their personality. That's the only way I know how to do it. So the characters are the right ones to tell the story I want to write. I think that's like the best way, right? Because like I feel like when you have a character, well, I feel like what you can also do is draw a character and then create a personality based off of the character, right? But I think if you're trying to tell a story, like you already, like for example, like YashaHime, if you're trying to tell a story, I think it's cool to have like a personality set first and then create like characteristics around that personality to emphasize that like physically, right? I think that's really cool. So then Rumiko says, first I think of the plot and setting, then I think about what characters would fit into that world. when I start drawing, but that's when I start drawing, but I redraw them over and over before I'm satisfied. So it's nice to know, like even Rumiko, like it's inspiring to see like even Rumiko, like she never gets it right on the first try. She as well, like even her, like she, has a rough draft. She scraps it, new one, scraps it, new one, scraps it, new one, until she's like, oh, this is the perfect design, So it's nice to read. And then she says the smallest adjustments in the design, like how their hair curls or their eyes or their glasses, make a character look completely different. I feel like I just have to keep drawing until the character design settles into the story, which is cute. So the last question is, Takahashi, you designed the 3 main girls in YASHAHIME. How did you go about that? So Takahashi says, Sumisawa, the writer of the anime, told me that Towa was the white Sesshomaru and Setsuna was the black Sesshomaru. So Moroha is the daughter of Inuyasha and Kagome. So I didn't put much thought into her at all. I just drew her so that she unquestionably looked like their daughter, which was like really well. I think I really loved. I don't know. I really personally really love Moroha's character design so much. She's so freaking cute. But I think it's also interesting that it was kind of the writer of the anime, Sumisawa, who told Rumiko, Towa is the white Sesshomaru and Setsuna is like the black Sesshomaru, right? Instead of like, Rumiko saying, oh, like these are the children, like this is what I see in my vision. I feel like it's kind of like she was told to, like, it felt like a commission, if that makes sense, which kind of sussy, not sussy, but like kind of makes you think a little bit, but I think Moroha like literally looks perfect. But I think describing them as like white Sesshomaru and black Sesshomaru is like really interesting as well. Like I still wonder why Rumiko decided to add, the red hair streaks and the different color eyes. Not like why not
as well too.
Yeah, but I think Rumiko's version actually, their eyes are yellow, but in this is like the adaptation is like different a little bit. I wonder why. Like I hope Shiina answers like more questions of like the character design, like why the red hair, why the eyes, right? So yeah, I think that's interesting. I really enjoyed this book club. It was freaking cute. It was fun. My voice is literally gone. I've been talking nonstop for so long. But I really enjoyed it. I really liked going through this. If you guys want me to do the next volume whenever it comes out, like in a couple of months, I'm down to do another live stream like this again. If you missed the beginning, or if you popped in like sometime throughout the live stream, I'll probably try to edit this into like a more like cohesive and like more thought out video. I'll take the footage, so like all of you guys' comments on the screen will be in the video and stuff like that throughout the video, which will be really cool. Like your live reactions to stuff that is happening will be there as well. Again, if you guys want to buy the YASHAHIME manga, it's linked in the pinned post as well as like in the chat in general. I highly recommend supporting Shiina and Rumiko. Hopefully, like, maybe one day we can get this adapted into an anime. That would be really fun. But for now, I'm really enjoying the anime. Check out my shop as well, tihasketch.com, if you guys want like YASHAHIME stuff drawn by me. It's really fun, it's cute stuff. So yeah. As well as Spy Family reactions coming out soon, I hope. I was supposed to film today, but I didn't because I had to go out, and I was like really my energy came back as we were live streaming today, but it was fun. And yeah, also like I don't think I really announced it on the channel. I talked about it on Instagram, a little bit on Twitter, and on Discord. Basically that I'm planning to change my content a little bit on the channel. I'm still gonna be covering anime and stuff like that. But I'm planning to like do more like I just miss filming more deeper stuff, if that makes sense. Like really fun, deeper things. I'm kind of like over the whole filming reactions and stuff like that. So I'm planning to like first do a big review on like the YashaHime anime and stuff like that, like final thoughts and stuff like that, since I never really did a conclusion video on the show. And then like finish Fruits Basket, and then maybe do one on Inuyasha as well, since a lot of you guys love Inuyasha like me. And then I go on from there, and I think it's gonna be really fun for me to create. And like I think of like I feel like it doesn't give me that creative freedom that, or like that I have like a lot of potential to create. I think it's like been holding me back a lot in my like abilities, if that makes sense. But yeah, it was really fun seeing you guys here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, I'll have like more live streams throughout the week and stuff like that in between uploads. It'll be really fun. You should do some theories. Yeah, it would be really fun to do theories on the manga and stuff like that. So maybe I'll do a theory video on the manga. That would be really fun. I kind of miss doing them. Since like, you know, the story is like a lot different from the anime, and a lot of stuff like makes sense, and there's like a lot of clues sprinkled throughout the manga as well. It's like really, it's like I feel like theories would make more sense making for the manga. But yeah, thank you guys for watching so much. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much. I'll have like game streams throughout the week and stuff like that. But definitely stay tuned for like the next one whenever it is in a couple months for the YashaHime manga whenever it comes out. But yeah, that'll be I think that's all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. My voice is literally gone. I've been talking so much. Thank you, Atsu, for joining me. I hope I explained the story good enough to you. Was it good? Hello?
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Did you enjoy? Did you enjoy?
Mm-hmm.
It's just fun, like seeing like a real-time reaction to the stuff that's happening. But yeah, I think that's all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. This will be turned to a video, so don't worry if you guys missed it. So 3 hours of footage, but it's all good. It's all good.
Oh my god, 3 hours.
Yeah, my voice is gone. My voice is freaking gone. But yeah, thanks guys. Thanks Anime Freak. I missed so many comments. I'm so sorry. Hi Midnight Mischief. I'm so sorry I missed you. It's so nice to see you again. Necrose, thank you so much for popping in. Jay, thank you for modding. Moon, thanks for popping in. Anaya, thank you for popping in. Who else? Puppy, thank you for popping in. Jesse, thanks for coming. Yeah, YashaHime Book Club, let's go. And Slash, thank you for popping in. Ray, thank you for popping in. Lucid, thank you for modding and popping in, listening and stuff like that. Yes. SNQ, thank you for popping in. Game, thanks for popping in. Imani, my girl, my favorite. Thank you for popping in. But yeah, I think that's all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Bye.